What if the key to living a more peaceful, purposeful life has been sitting on bookshelves for nearly 2,000 years? Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most powerful Roman emperors, left behind a treasure trove of wisdom in his personal writings, known as Meditations. These weren't meant for the public eye. They were his private reflections, a guide to navigating the chaos of life with clarity and resilience. Today, we're diving into 50 timeless Stoic lessons from Marcus Aurelius, lessons that are as relevant now as they were in ancient Rome. Whether you're facing stress, uncertainty, or simply seeking a deeper sense of meaning, these teachings offer practical tools to help you thrive. So, let's step into the mind of a philosopher king and uncover the wisdom that has inspired generations. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with insights that could transform how you see the world and yourself. Ready to begin? Let's explore the enduring power of Stoicism together. Now turning to the first lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the power of perception. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that our reality is shaped not by external events, but by how we perceive and interpret them. This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, focusing on what we can control, which is our thoughts and reactions, rather than what lies outside our control. Imagine facing a stressful situation at work or receiving harsh criticism. While the event itself may be unavoidable, our response to it is entirely within our power. By choosing to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles, we can transform our experience of life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that it's not what happens to us that matters, but how we choose to respond. This lesson is incredibly practical for modern life. Whether you're dealing with a difficult conversation, a setback, or even a global crisis, shifting your perspective can help you maintain inner peace and resilience. The next time you feel overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, is this situation truly as bad as it seems, or is it my perception that's amplifying it? By mastering your perceptions, you take the first step toward mastering your life. Now turning to the second lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve deeper into the Stoic principle of accepting what we cannot control. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of distinguishing between what lies within our power and what does not. In his writings, he reminds us that while we cannot control external events, we always have control over our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes. This distinction is crucial for maintaining inner peace and resilience in the face of life's uncertainties. For example, imagine you're navigating a challenging situation at work, such as a sudden change in project direction or a difficult colleague. While you can't control the actions of others or the decisions made by your organization, you can control how you respond. You can choose to remain calm, adapt to the situation, and focus on what you can do to move forward. Similarly, in relationships, you can't control how others behave or feel, but you can control how you communicate, set boundaries, and show compassion. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that by accepting what we cannot control, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and frustration. This lesson is especially relevant in today's fast-paced and unpredictable world, where uncertainty often feels like the only constant. The next time you find yourself worrying about something outside your control, take a moment to remind yourself, what can I do about this and what must I let go of? By embracing this Stoic principle, you can cultivate a sense of calm and clarity, even in the midst of chaos. Now turning to the third lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore his profound reflections on the impermanence of life. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that everything in life is fleeting: our possessions, our relationships, even our own existence. This awareness of life's transient nature is not meant to evoke fear or sadness, but rather to inspire gratitude and mindfulness. When we truly understand that nothing lasts forever, we begin to appreciate the present moment more deeply. For instance, think about the people in your life. Knowing that your time with them is limited can help you cherish every conversation, every shared laugh, and every moment of connection. Similarly, recognizing the temporary nature of material possessions can free you from the endless pursuit of more, allowing you to find contentment in what you already have. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that by embracing impermanence, we can live more fully and intentionally. One practical way to incorporate this lesson into your daily life is through journaling. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, no matter how small. Another practice is daily reflection, where you pause to observe the beauty and impermanence of the world around you. Whether it's the changing seasons, the setting sun, or the fleeting smile of a stranger. These simple habits can help you cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude and presence. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom reminds us that life is not about holding on tightly to what we have, but about appreciating the moments we are given. By embracing the impermanence of life, we can find peace, purpose, and a greater appreciation for the here and now. Now turning to the fourth lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into his emphasis on living a virtuous life. For Marcus Aurelius, virtue was the cornerstone of a meaningful existence. He believed that true happiness and fulfillment could only be achieved by aligning our actions with the Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Let's break these down. Wisdom, in the Stoic sense, is about understanding what is within our control and what is not, and making thoughtful, rational decisions based on that understanding. Courage is not just physical bravery, but the strength to face life's challenges with resilience and integrity, even when it's difficult. Justice involves treating others with fairness, kindness, and respect, recognizing that we are all part of a larger community. And temperance is the practice of self-control, moderation, and balance in all aspects of life. Together, these virtues form a framework for living well. For example, when faced with a difficult decision, wisdom helps us assess the situation clearly. Courage gives us the strength to act according to our principles. Justice ensures we consider the impact on others, and temperance keeps us from acting impulsively. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that by cultivating these virtues, we not only improve ourselves but also contribute to the well-being of those around us. One practical way to apply this lesson is to reflect on your actions at the end of each day. Ask yourself, did I act with wisdom today? Did I show courage in the face of challenges? Was I fair and just in my interactions? Did I practice self-control and moderation? This simple exercise can help you align your life more closely with Stoic virtues, guiding you toward greater personal growth and a deeper sense of purpose. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that virtue is not just an abstract ideal, but a practical guide for living a life of integrity, resilience, and meaning. Now turning to the fifth lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore his profound habit of practicing gratitude. For Marcus Aurelius, gratitude was not just a fleeting feeling, but a deliberate practice that shaped his perspective on life. He often reflected on the things he was grateful for, even in the midst of challenges, as a way to cultivate inner peace and resilience. This practice, rooted in Stoic philosophy, teaches us to focus on what we have rather than what we lack, fostering a sense of contentment and appreciation for the present moment. The psychological benefits of gratitude are well documented. Studies show that regularly acknowledging what we are thankful for can reduce stress, improve mental health, and even strengthen relationships. By shifting our focus to the positive aspects of our lives, we train our minds to see opportunities rather than obstacles, and abundance rather than scarcity. One modern way to incorporate this lesson is by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few moments to write down 3 things you are grateful for. They can be as simple as a kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunset, or even the comfort of a warm meal. Over time, this practice helps rewire your brain to notice and appreciate the good in your life, no matter how small. Another way to practice gratitude is by expressing appreciation to others. A heartfelt thank you, a note of encouragement, or even a small act of kindness can have a ripple effect, strengthening your connections and spreading positivity. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that gratitude is not just a reaction to good fortune, but a mindset we can cultivate, even in difficult times. By embracing this practice, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also contribute to a more compassionate and harmonious world. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can weave gratitude into your daily routine, transforming it into a powerful tool for personal growth and fulfillment. Now turning to the sixth lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the value of self-discipline. For Marcus Aurelius, self-discipline was not about restriction or punishment, but a path to true freedom. He believed that by mastering our desires and impulses, we could achieve inner peace and live in alignment with our highest values. This lesson is particularly relevant in today's world, where distractions and temptations are constantly vying for our attention. Self-discipline, in the Stoic sense, is about choosing what is right over what is easy. It's about resisting the pull of instant gratification and focusing on long-term goals and virtues. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that true strength lies in the ability to control one's own mind and actions, rather than being controlled by external circumstances or fleeting emotions. One practical way to cultivate self-discipline is by setting clear, achievable goals. Break down larger tasks into smaller, manageable steps and commit to completing them one at a time. This approach not only builds momentum, but also reinforces your ability to stay focused and consistent. Another effective strategy is to create routines that support your priorities. Whether it's waking up early to meditate, dedicating time to exercise, or limiting screen time, these habits help reinforce self-control and create a sense of order in your life. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of mindfulness in practicing self-discipline. By being fully present in each moment, you can better recognize when you're being pulled off course and make conscious choices to stay aligned with your values. Finally, remember that self-discipline is a skill that grows stronger with practice. Start small, celebrate your progress, and be patient with yourself as you build this essential capacity. By embracing self-discipline, you not only gain mastery over your actions, but also unlock a deeper sense of freedom and fulfillment. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can integrate these practices into your daily life, transforming self-discipline into a powerful tool for personal growth and inner peace. Now turning to the seventh lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the profound idea of embracing adversity. For Marcus Aurelius, challenges were not obstacles to be avoided, but opportunities for growth and self-improvement. He believed that every difficulty we face is a chance to strengthen our character, deepen our resilience, and refine our understanding of life. In his writings, he often reminded himself that adversity is a natural part of the human experience, and how we respond to it defines who we are. One of the most powerful examples from his life was his ability to lead the Roman Empire through wars, plagues, and political turmoil while maintaining his composure and sense of purpose. He saw these trials not as burdens but as tests of his Stoic principles. Marcus Aurelius taught that when we encounter setbacks, we should ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? Or how can this make me stronger? This shift in perspective transforms adversity from something to fear into a tool for personal development. A practical way to apply this lesson is to practice reframing. When faced with a challenge, instead of focusing on what's going wrong, ask yourself how this situation can help you grow. For instance, a difficult work project might teach you patience or problem-solving skills, while a strained relationship could offer insights into communication and empathy. Marcus Aurelius also encouraged the practice of gratitude even in tough times. By acknowledging the lessons and strengths gained through adversity, we can cultivate a mindset of resilience and optimism. Another key aspect of embracing adversity is accepting what we cannot control. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that external events are beyond our power, but our reactions to them are entirely within our control. By focusing on our response rather than the event itself, we can maintain our inner peace and use adversity as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can approach challenges in your own life with a Stoic mindset. How can you turn setbacks into opportunities for growth? By embracing adversity, you not only build resilience but also unlock the potential for profound personal transformation. Now, turning to the 8th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the importance of living in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius frequently emphasized the value of mindfulness, urging us to focus our attention on the here and now rather than being consumed by regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. He believed that the present moment is the only reality we truly have control over, and by anchoring ourselves in it, we can find peace and clarity. In his writings, he often reminded himself that the past is gone and the future is uncertain, so dwelling on either only distracts us from what we can do today. This lesson is particularly relevant in our modern world, where distractions and worries often pull us in multiple directions. By practicing mindfulness, we can reduce anxiety, improve focus, and cultivate a deeper sense of contentment. One practical way to apply this lesson is through meditation. Taking even a few minutes each day to sit quietly, focus on your breath, and observe your thoughts without judgment can help you become more present and centered. Another technique is mindful breathing, where you consciously pay attention to each inhale and exhale, grounding yourself in the rhythm of your breath. Marcus Aurelius also encouraged the practice of gratitude for the present moment. By appreciating the small, everyday joys, like the warmth of the sun or the sound of birdsong, we can train our minds to stay rooted in the now. He taught that when we fully engage with the present, we not only reduce stress but also open ourselves to experiencing life more deeply and authentically. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine. What small changes can you make to bring your attention back to the present moment? By embracing this Stoic practice, you can transform your relationship with time, finding greater peace and purpose in the here and now. Now, turning to the 9th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the role of reason in guiding our actions and decisions. Marcus Aurelius believed that reason is the most powerful tool we possess, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with clarity and wisdom. He saw reason as the bridge between our emotions and our actions, helping us respond to situations thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. In his writings, he often reminded himself to pause and reflect before making decisions, emphasizing that rational thinking is the key to living a virtuous and fulfilling life. In today's fast-paced world, where emotions can easily cloud our judgment, this lesson is more relevant than ever. Marcus Aurelius taught that by using reason, we can untangle complex emotions and conflicts, finding solutions that align with our values and long-term goals. For example, when faced with a disagreement at work or in a relationship, instead of reacting out of anger or frustration, we can take a step back, assess the situation objectively, and choose a response that promotes understanding and resolution. This approach not only helps us maintain inner peace, but also strengthens our relationships and decision-making abilities. One practical way to apply this lesson is through journaling. By writing down your thoughts and analyzing them rationally, you can gain clarity on your emotions and identify the best course of action. Another technique is to ask yourself questions like, what would a wise and impartial person do in this situation? Or, how can I respond in a way that aligns with my principles? These prompts can help you detach from emotional impulses and make decisions grounded in reason. Marcus Aurelius also believed that reason allows us to see the bigger picture, reminding us that many of the things we worry about are temporary and insignificant in the grand scheme of life. By focusing on what truly matters and using reason to guide our choices, we can live with greater purpose and integrity. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can cultivate rational thinking in your daily life. How can you use reason to navigate challenges and make decisions that reflect your highest self? By embracing this Stoic practice, you can transform the way you approach life's complexities, finding clarity and strength in the power of reason. Now turning to the 10th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into his profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the idea that everything in the universe is part of a single, unified whole. He saw the world as a vast web of relationships where every action, no matter how small, ripples out and affects the larger system. This perspective, rooted in Stoic philosophy, teaches us that we are not isolated individuals but deeply connected to one another and to the natural world around us. For Marcus Aurelius, recognizing this interconnectedness was a call to live with empathy and responsibility. He believed that understanding our place within the larger whole fosters compassion for others and a sense of duty to contribute positively to the world. When we see ourselves as part of a greater whole, we are more likely to act with kindness, fairness, and consideration for the well-being of others. This mindset not only strengthens our relationships but also encourages us to think beyond our immediate needs and consider the broader impact of our actions. In today's world, this lesson resonates deeply with contemporary issues like environmentalism. Just as Marcus Aurelius urged us to see our connection to others, we can extend that awareness to our relationship with the planet. Recognizing that our actions, whether it's reducing waste, conserving energy, or supporting sustainable practices, affect the health of the entire ecosystem, can inspire us to make more responsible choices. By embracing this Stoic perspective, we can cultivate a sense of stewardship for the earth and work toward a more sustainable future. Marcus Aurelius also used this idea to remind himself of the transient nature of individual concerns. When faced with personal challenges, he would reflect on the vastness of the universe and the interconnectedness of all life, finding solace in the knowledge that his struggles were part of a larger, ever-changing tapestry. This perspective can help us approach our own difficulties with greater humility and resilience, knowing that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can apply the idea of interconnectedness in your daily life. How can you foster empathy and responsibility in your interactions with others? How can you contribute to the well-being of your community and the planet? By embracing this Stoic principle, you can cultivate a deeper sense of connection and purpose, enriching not only your own life but also the lives of those around you. Now turning to the 11th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore his profound insights on the futility of anger. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the destructive nature of anger, viewing it as an emotion that clouds judgment and disrupts inner peace. He believed that anger, while a natural human response, often leads to unnecessary suffering and conflict. Instead of allowing anger to control us, he encouraged the practice of self-awareness and restraint, emphasizing that true strength lies in mastering our emotions rather than being ruled by them. One of the key Stoic techniques Marcus Aurelius advocated for managing anger is the simple yet powerful act of pausing before reacting. When we feel anger rising, taking a moment to breathe and reflect can prevent impulsive actions that we might later regret. This pause allows us to step back and consider the bigger picture, reminding ourselves that anger often stems from temporary frustrations or misunderstandings. By creating this space between stimulus and response, we gain the clarity needed to respond with reason rather than react with emotion. Marcus Aurelius also encouraged reflecting on the impermanence of the situation that triggered our anger. He would remind himself that the things that provoke us are often fleeting and insignificant in the grand scheme of life. By shifting our perspective and focusing on what truly matters, we can diminish the intensity of our anger and approach challenges with a calmer, more rational mindset. This practice not only helps us manage anger in the moment, but also fosters long-term emotional resilience. In modern life, this lesson is particularly relevant in navigating conflicts, whether in personal relationships, the workplace, or even online interactions. When we encounter situations that test our patience, applying Marcus Aurelius's teachings can help us respond with grace and understanding. For example, instead of lashing out during a disagreement, we can choose to listen actively, seek common ground, and address the issue constructively. This approach not only diffuses tension but also strengthens our relationships and builds trust. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can incorporate these Stoic techniques into your daily life. How can you practice pausing and reflecting when anger arises? How can you remind yourself of the bigger picture to maintain perspective? By embracing these principles, you can transform anger from a destructive force into an opportunity for growth and self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom reminds us that true power lies not in the heat of emotion but in the calm clarity of reason. Now turning to the 12th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into his profound appreciation for simplicity. Marcus Aurelius believed that a life free from excess and clutter was essential for achieving inner peace and clarity. He often reflected on the idea that material possessions, social status, and external distractions only serve to complicate our lives and pull us away from what truly matters. Instead, he advocated for a life rooted in intentionality and minimalism, where every action and possession had a clear purpose. Marcus Aurelius saw simplicity not as a sacrifice but as a path to freedom. By reducing the noise and distractions around us, we create space to focus on our values, relationships, and personal growth. He encouraged us to question our desires and ask ourselves whether the things we pursue truly contribute to our well-being or merely add unnecessary weight to our lives. This practice of self-examination helps us align our actions with our deeper purpose, leading to greater contentment and fulfillment. In modern terms, this lesson resonates deeply with the principles of minimalism and intentional living. Simplifying our daily routines can have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. For example, decluttering our physical spaces can reduce stress and create a sense of calm, while streamlining our schedules allows us to prioritize what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius would remind us that time is our most valuable resource, and wasting it on trivial pursuits only detracts from our ability to live meaningfully. To embrace this lesson, consider starting small. Identify areas of your life where excess might be weighing you down, whether it's a cluttered home, an overbooked calendar, or a mind filled with unnecessary worries. Begin by letting go of what no longer serves you, whether it's physical possessions, toxic relationships, or unproductive habits. Focus on cultivating habits that bring clarity and purpose, such as setting daily intentions, practicing gratitude, and spending time in nature. Marcus Aurelius's teachings on simplicity remind us that true happiness is not found in accumulation, but in the deliberate choices we make each day. By embracing a simpler, more intentional way of living, we can free ourselves from the burdens of excess and create a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling. As you reflect on this lesson, ask yourself, what can I let go of to make room for what truly matters? How can I live more intentionally and align my actions with my values? By pursuing simplicity, you take a powerful step toward inner peace and a life well lived. Now turning to the 13th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore his profound emphasis on humility and self-awareness. Marcus Aurelius believed that humility was not a sign of weakness but a cornerstone of wisdom and strength. He often reflected on the importance of recognizing our limitations and acknowledging that we are part of a larger whole. In his writings, he reminded himself to remain grounded, no matter how high his position as emperor, and to approach life with a sense of modesty and openness to learning. Humility, as Marcus Aurelius saw it, is the antidote to arrogance and ego. It allows us to see ourselves clearly, free from the distortions of pride or self-importance. By embracing humility, we become more open to feedback, more willing to admit our mistakes, and more capable of growth. This self-awareness fosters deeper connections with others, as humility encourages us to listen, empathize, and value the perspectives of those around us. In relationships, humility builds trust and respect, creating a foundation for meaningful collaboration and mutual support. In modern life, practicing humility can transform how we navigate both personal and professional challenges. For example, in the workplace, a humble leader is more likely to inspire loyalty and trust among their team. They acknowledge the contributions of others, admit when they don't have all the answers, and remain open to new ideas. In personal relationships, humility helps us resolve conflicts more effectively, as it allows us to approach disagreements with a willingness to understand rather than a desire to win. To cultivate humility, Marcus Aurelius would encourage us to reflect on our actions and motivations regularly. Ask yourself, am I acting out of ego or a genuine desire to contribute? Am I open to learning from others, even those who may seem less experienced or knowledgeable? Another practical step is to practice gratitude, which reminds us of the many ways we depend on others and the world around us. By recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, we naturally develop a sense of humility and appreciation for the roles we play in the larger tapestry of life. Marcus Aurelius's teachings on humility remind us that true greatness lies not in dominating others, but in serving them with a spirit of kindness and respect. By embracing humility, we not only improve our relationships but also create opportunities for continuous growth and self-improvement. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can practice humility in your daily life. How can you approach challenges with a sense of openness and curiosity? How can you foster deeper connections by valuing the contributions of others? By embracing humility, you take a powerful step toward becoming a better leader, friend, and human being. Now turning to the 14th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into his profound appreciation for silence and introspection. In a world that often feels overwhelmingly noisy and chaotic, Marcus Aurelius saw silence as a sanctuary, a space where the mind could find clarity and the soul could reconnect with its deeper truths. He believed that moments of quiet reflection were essential for maintaining inner peace and gaining perspective on life's challenges. For Marcus Aurelius, silence was not merely the absence of sound but an active practice of turning inward. It was a way to step back from the distractions of the external world and listen to the wisdom within. In his writings, he often reminded himself to retreat into stillness, even amidst the demands of his role as emperor. This practice allowed him to approach his duties with greater focus, patience, and equanimity. In our modern lives, where constant notifications, social media, and the pressures of daily life can overwhelm us, the power of silence is more relevant than ever. Quiet reflection helps us recharge, process our thoughts, and gain clarity on what truly matters. It allows us to step away from the noise and reconnect with our values, goals, and sense of purpose. By embracing silence, we create space for creativity, problem-solving, and emotional resilience. One practical way to incorporate silence into your life is through a digital detox. Set aside specific times each day to disconnect from your devices and immerse yourself in stillness. This could be as simple as turning off your phone for an hour or dedicating a morning to unplugged activities like reading, journaling, or meditating. Another powerful practice is taking silent walks. Instead of listening to music or podcasts, allow yourself to be fully present in the moment, observing the sights, sounds, and sensations around you. These moments of quiet can help you cultivate mindfulness and deepen your connection to the world. Marcus Aurelius's teachings on silence remind us that true strength often lies in stillness. By embracing moments of quiet reflection, we can navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and calm. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can create more space for silence in your daily routine. How can you use these moments to reconnect with yourself and gain clarity on your path forward? By making silence a regular practice, you take a powerful step toward cultivating inner peace and living a more intentional, fulfilling life. Now turning to the 15th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore his profound reflections on mortality and the acceptance of death. For Marcus Aurelius, death was not something to fear or avoid, but a natural and inevitable part of life. He believed that by contemplating our own mortality, we could gain a deeper appreciation for the time we have and live with greater purpose and intention. In his writings, Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of the fleeting nature of life. He saw death as a universal truth that connects all living beings, a reminder that our time on earth is limited and precious. By acknowledging this reality, he encouraged himself to focus on what truly matters, living virtuously, cultivating meaningful relationships, and contributing to the well-being of others. This perspective allowed him to approach life with a sense of urgency and gratitude, making the most of each moment. In our modern world, where distractions and busyness often pull us away from what truly matters, Marcus Aurelius's teachings on death can serve as a powerful wake-up call. Contemplating mortality doesn't have to be morbid or depressing. Instead, it can inspire us to live more authentically and intentionally. It reminds us to prioritize our values, let go of trivial concerns, and focus on what brings us fulfillment and joy. One practical way to incorporate this lesson into daily life is through regular reflection. Take a few moments each day to remind yourself of the impermanence of life. This could be as simple as writing down one thing you're grateful for or reflecting on how you want to be remembered. Another powerful practice is to visualize your life from the perspective of its end. Ask yourself, if today were my last day, would I be proud of how I lived? What would I want to change or prioritize? These questions can help you align your actions with your deepest values and live with greater purpose. Marcus Aurelius's teachings on death remind us that life's brevity is what makes it so valuable. By embracing the reality of our mortality, we can let go of fear, live more fully, and make a meaningful impact on the world. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can use the awareness of death to inspire a more intentional and fulfilling life. How can you honor the time you have by living in alignment with your values and making a positive difference in the lives of others? By embracing this Stoic wisdom, you can transform your relationship with mortality and find greater meaning in every moment. Now turning to the 16th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into his deep reverence for nature and its cycles. For Marcus Aurelius, nature was not just a backdrop to life but a profound teacher, offering lessons in resilience, harmony, and the interconnectedness of all things. He often reflected on the natural world as a source of wisdom, reminding himself to observe its rhythms and draw inspiration from its simplicity and order. In his writings, Marcus Aurelius frequently emphasized the importance of aligning oneself with nature. He saw nature as a reflection of the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with reason and virtue. By observing the cycles of the seasons, the growth of plants, and the behavior of animals, he found a model for how humans should live, adapting to change, embracing impermanence, and finding peace in the natural flow of life. This perspective encouraged him to approach challenges with patience and to see himself as part of a larger, interconnected whole. In our modern, fast-paced world, where many of us are disconnected from the natural environment, Marcus Aurelius's teachings on nature can serve as a powerful reminder to slow down and reconnect. Spending time in nature has been shown to reduce stress, improve mental clarity, and foster a sense of calm and perspective. Whether it's a walk in the woods, tending to a garden, or simply sitting by a body of water, these activities can help us ground ourselves and gain a deeper appreciation for the world around us. One practical way to incorporate this lesson into daily life is to make time for regular outdoor activities. Hiking, for example, not only provides physical exercise but also allows us to immerse ourselves in the beauty and tranquility of the natural world. Gardening, on the other hand, can be a meditative practice that connects us to the cycles of growth and renewal. Even small acts like taking a moment to watch a sunset or listen to the sound of birds can help us cultivate a sense of peace and mindfulness. Marcus Aurelius's reverence for nature reminds us that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. By connecting with the natural world, we can find solace, gain perspective, and align ourselves with the timeless wisdom of the universe. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can bring more of nature into your life. How can you use the beauty and rhythms of the natural world to inspire greater peace, gratitude, and purpose? By embracing this Stoic wisdom, you can deepen your connection to the world around you and find greater harmony within yourself. Now, turning to the 17th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore his profound belief in the practice of kindness and compassion. For Marcus Aurelius, kindness was not just a moral duty but a fundamental expression of our shared humanity. He believed that treating others with empathy and understanding was essential to living a virtuous life, as it reflected the Stoic virtues of justice and wisdom. In his writings, he often reminded himself to approach others with patience and goodwill, even in the face of adversity or misunderstanding. Marcus Aurelius saw kindness as a way to strengthen the bonds of community and foster harmony in the world. He understood that every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the potential to create a ripple effect, touching not only the recipient but also those who witness it. This idea is especially relevant in our modern world, where division and conflict can often overshadow our shared humanity. By practicing kindness, we not only uplift others but also cultivate a sense of inner peace and fulfillment within ourselves. One of the most powerful aspects of kindness is its simplicity. It doesn't require grand gestures or extraordinary effort. Small, everyday acts like offering a genuine compliment, lending a listening ear, or holding the door for someone can have a profound impact. These moments of connection remind us of our interdependence and the importance of treating others with dignity and respect. Marcus Aurelius would encourage us to look for opportunities to extend kindness, even in challenging situations, as a way to align our actions with the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with virtue. Consider, for example, how a single act of kindness can transform someone's day. A smile to a stranger, a thoughtful note to a colleague, or a small favor for a neighbor can create a sense of warmth and connection that resonates far beyond the moment. These actions not only benefit others but also reinforce our own sense of purpose and belonging. Marcus Aurelius believed that by practicing kindness, we contribute to the greater good and strengthen the fabric of society. As you reflect on this lesson, think about how you can incorporate more kindness into your daily life. How can you extend compassion to those around you, even in moments of stress or frustration? By embracing this Stoic wisdom, you can create a positive impact in your community and cultivate a deeper sense of fulfillment within yourself. Marcus Aurelius's teachings remind us that kindness is not just a virtue but a powerful tool for building a more harmonious and connected world. Let this lesson inspire you to act with generosity and empathy, knowing that even the smallest gestures can make a big difference. Now, turning to the 18th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into his insightful warnings about the dangers of ego and vanity. Marcus Aurelius believed that ego, or an inflated sense of self-importance, could be one of the greatest obstacles to living a virtuous and fulfilling life. He saw ego as a barrier to personal growth, as it often blinds us to our flaws and prevents us from learning from others. In his writings, he frequently reminded himself to remain humble and self-aware, recognizing that true wisdom comes from acknowledging our limitations and striving to improve. Ego, according to Marcus Aurelius, not only distorts our perception of ourselves but also damages our relationships with others. When we allow ego to take control, we become more focused on proving ourselves right or seeking validation than on fostering genuine connections. This can lead to conflict, resentment, and isolation. Marcus Aurelius urged us to resist the temptation of vanity and instead focus on cultivating humility. By doing so, we open ourselves to growth, collaboration, and deeper understanding. One of the key strategies Marcus Aurelius offered for overcoming ego is the practice of self-reflection. He encouraged us to regularly examine our thoughts and actions, asking ourselves whether they are driven by a desire for recognition or by a genuine commitment to virtue. This kind of honest self-assessment helps us recognize when ego is influencing our behavior and allows us to course correct before it causes harm. Another powerful tool is gratitude. By reflecting on the contributions of others and expressing appreciation for their support, we shift our focus away from ourselves and toward the collective good. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who challenge us and hold us accountable. He believed that seeking out mentors and peers who are willing to offer constructive criticism is essential for maintaining humility and self-awareness. These relationships help us stay grounded and remind us that we are part of a larger community rather than the center of it. In our modern world, where social media and constant comparison can fuel ego and vanity, Marcus Aurelius's teachings are more relevant than ever. By practicing humility and self-awareness, we can resist the pressures to seek external validation and instead focus on living authentically and virtuously. Consider how you can apply this lesson in your own life. Are there areas where ego might be holding you back? How can you cultivate humility and foster deeper, more meaningful connections with those around you? As we move forward, let Marcus Aurelius's wisdom guide you in recognizing the dangers of ego and embracing the power of humility. By doing so, you not only enhance your personal growth but also contribute to a more compassionate and connected world. This lesson reminds us that true strength lies not in self-importance but in the quiet confidence that comes from living with integrity and self-awareness. Now turning to the 19th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore his profound teachings on the value of patience. In a world that often prioritizes speed and instant results, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that patience is not just a virtue but a powerful tool for navigating life's challenges with clarity and resilience. He believed that patience allows us to approach situations with a calm and rational mind, enabling us to make better decisions and avoid impulsive reactions that we might later regret. Marcus Aurelius saw patience as a form of self-discipline, a way to align our actions with reason rather than emotion. He often reflected on the natural rhythms of life, observing how everything unfolds in its own time. Just as a farmer must wait for crops to grow or a river must flow steadily to carve its path, we too must learn to trust the process and embrace the timing of events. This perspective helps us cultivate emotional resilience, as it teaches us to endure difficulties without losing hope or becoming overwhelmed by frustration. In his writings, Marcus Aurelius emphasized that patience is particularly valuable in moments of adversity. When faced with setbacks or delays, he encouraged us to view these experiences as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. By practicing patience, we develop the ability to remain steady in the face of uncertainty, allowing us to respond to challenges with wisdom and composure rather than reacting out of haste or anger. So how can we apply this lesson in our fast-paced modern world? One practical way is to pause before making decisions, especially in high-pressure situations. Taking a moment to breathe and reflect can help us avoid impulsive choices and instead act with intention. Another strategy is to reframe waiting as an opportunity for reflection or preparation. For example, instead of becoming frustrated by a delay, use that time to gather your thoughts, plan your next steps, or simply practice mindfulness. Marcus Aurelius also suggested focusing on what we can control rather than fixating on what we cannot. By directing our energy toward our own actions and attitudes, we reduce the stress of trying to force outcomes and instead learn to trust the process. This shift in mindset not only fosters patience but also brings a sense of peace and acceptance. In a culture that often glorifies speed and instant gratification, Marcus Aurelius's teachings on patience serve as a timeless reminder to slow down and approach life with intention. By cultivating patience, we not only improve our decision-making and emotional resilience, but also create space for deeper understanding and connection. Consider how you can incorporate this lesson into your daily life. Where might patience help you navigate challenges more effectively? How can you embrace the natural rhythms of life with grace and trust? As we move forward, let Marcus Aurelius's wisdom inspire you to embrace patience as a guiding principle. By doing so, you'll find greater clarity, resilience, and peace in both your personal and professional endeavors. This lesson reminds us that true strength lies not in rushing through life, but in moving through it with purpose and calm. Now turning to the 20th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into his profound practice of daily reflection. Marcus Aurelius believed that taking time each day to examine one's thoughts, actions, and experiences was essential for personal growth and self-awareness. In his writings, particularly in Meditations, he demonstrated how this habit allowed him to align his actions with his values, learn from his mistakes, and cultivate a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. Reflection for Marcus Aurelius was not just a passive activity but an active process of self-examination. He used it as a tool to assess whether he was living in accordance with Stoic principles such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By regularly reflecting on his day, he could identify areas where he fell short and make adjustments to improve. This practice helped him stay grounded, focused, and true to his purpose, even amidst the chaos of ruling an empire. The benefits of daily reflection extend far beyond self-improvement. It allows us to process our emotions, gain clarity on our priorities, and develop a greater sense of gratitude. By taking a few moments each day to pause and reflect, we can better understand our reactions to events, recognize patterns in our behavior, and make more intentional choices moving forward. This practice also fosters mindfulness, helping us stay present and engaged in our lives rather than being swept away by distractions or stress. One practical way to incorporate reflection into your daily routine is through journaling. Marcus Aurelius himself kept a journal which later became the foundation of Meditations. Writing down your thoughts and experiences can help you organize your mind, track your progress, and gain insights that might otherwise go unnoticed. To get started, consider using prompts such as, "What did I do well today? Where could I have acted differently? What am I grateful for? What challenges did I face and how did I respond?" These questions can guide your reflection and help you uncover valuable lessons from your day. Another approach is to set aside a few minutes each evening to mentally review your day. Think about the moments that stood out, the decisions you made, and the emotions you felt. Ask yourself whether your actions aligned with your values and how you can improve tomorrow. This simple practice can help you end your day with a sense of closure and prepare you to face the next day with renewed focus and intention. Marcus Aurelius's emphasis on reflection also reminds us of the importance of learning from our experiences. Life is full of lessons, but we often miss them if we don't take the time to reflect. By making reflection a daily habit, we can turn even the most ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and self-discovery. This practice not only deepens our understanding of ourselves, but also strengthens our ability to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and resilience. As you consider incorporating reflection into your own life, think about how this practice can help you stay aligned with your values and goals. What insights might you gain from taking a few moments each day to pause and reflect? How can this habit help you grow into the best version of yourself? Let Marcus Aurelius's example inspire you to embrace the power of reflection as a tool for personal transformation and inner peace. With this lesson in mind, we move forward to explore the next Stoic principle, continuing our journey toward a more thoughtful and intentional way of living. Now turning to the 21st lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore his unwavering emphasis on living with integrity. For Marcus Aurelius, integrity was not just a moral ideal but a practical way of life. He believed that aligning our actions with our values was essential for achieving inner peace and building trust with others. In Meditations, he often reflected on the importance of being true to oneself, even when faced with difficult choices or external pressures. Integrity, in his view, was the foundation of a virtuous life, one that allowed him to navigate the complexities of leadership and personal relationships with clarity and purpose. Marcus Aurelius understood that integrity requires consistency between what we believe and how we act. It's easy to claim certain values, but the true test comes when we're faced with situations that challenge those values. For example, he often reminded himself to act justly, even when it was inconvenient or unpopular. This meant making decisions based on fairness and reason rather than personal gain or the approval of others. By doing so, he not only maintained his own sense of self-respect, but also earned the trust and respect of those around him. Living with integrity also brings a profound sense of inner peace. When our actions align with our values, we experience a harmony between our thoughts and deeds. This alignment reduces internal conflict and allows us to move through life with confidence and clarity. Marcus Aurelius saw this as a form of freedom from the guilt, regret, and anxiety that come from compromising our principles. By staying true to himself, he was able to face challenges with a clear conscience and a steady mind. But how can we practice integrity in our own lives, especially when faced with difficult situations? One way is to regularly reflect on our core values and use them as a guide for decision-making. For instance, if honesty is a value you hold dear, you might ask yourself whether a particular action or statement aligns with that principle. Another approach is to consider the long-term consequences of your choices. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that short-term gains achieved through dishonesty or compromise would ultimately lead to greater losses in the form of damaged relationships and self-respect. Consider a modern example. Imagine you're at work and a colleague asks you to cover up a mistake they made. While it might be tempting to help them out, doing so could compromise your integrity and create a culture of dishonesty in the workplace. Instead, you might choose to encourage your colleague to take responsibility for their actions, offering support as they address the issue. This approach not only upholds your values but also fosters trust and accountability within the team. Marcus Aurelius's teachings on integrity remind us that living with honesty and consistency is not always easy, but it is always worthwhile. It strengthens our character, deepens our relationships, and brings us closer to the person we aspire to be. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can bring greater integrity into your daily life. What values are most important to you, and how can you ensure your actions reflect them? By embracing this Stoic principle, you can cultivate a life of authenticity, trust, and inner peace. With this in mind, we move forward to the next lesson, continuing our journey toward a more thoughtful and intentional way of living. Now turning to the 22nd lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into his profound belief in the importance of community and social responsibility. For Marcus Aurelius, being part of a community was not just a matter of convenience or necessity, it was a fundamental aspect of living a virtuous and meaningful life. He saw humanity as interconnected, each person playing a role in the larger web of existence. In Meditations, he often reflected on the idea that we are all part of a greater whole and that our actions should contribute to the well-being of others as well as ourselves. Marcus Aurelius believed that contributing to the community was a way of fulfilling our natural role as social beings. He saw it as a duty not just to ourselves but to the world around us. This sense of responsibility extended beyond immediate family or friends to include strangers, neighbors, and even future generations. By helping others, we not only improve their lives but also enrich our own. Acts of kindness, generosity, and service create a ripple effect, fostering a sense of connection and purpose that benefits everyone involved. One of the ways Marcus Aurelius emphasized this principle was through the concept of mutual support. He recognized that no one is entirely self-sufficient and that we all rely on others in various ways, whether it's through sharing knowledge, offering emotional support, or working together to solve problems. Our contributions to the community strengthen the bonds that hold society together. This idea is especially relevant today as we navigate challenges that require collective effort, such as addressing social inequality, environmental issues, or public health crises. But how can we put this Stoic principle into practice in our own lives? One way is to actively seek out opportunities to contribute to your local community. This could involve volunteering at a food bank, participating in neighborhood cleanup efforts, or mentoring someone who could benefit from your experience. Even small acts like checking in on an elderly neighbor or supporting a local business can make a significant difference. Marcus Aurelius would remind us that these actions, no matter how small, are expressions of our shared humanity and our commitment to the common good. Another approach is to cultivate a mindset of gratitude and reciprocity. Recognize the ways in which others have supported you and consider how you can pay that forward. For example, if someone has helped you in your career, you might offer guidance to someone just starting out in your field. By fostering a culture of mutual support, we create a more compassionate and resilient community. Marcus Aurelius also believed that contributing to the well-being of others is a path to personal fulfillment. When we focus on the needs of the community, we shift our attention away from our own worries and desires, gaining a broader perspective on life. This shift can lead to greater happiness and a deeper sense of purpose. As he wrote in Meditations, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." In other words, our individual well-being is deeply tied to the health of the community as a whole. As you reflect on this lesson, consider how you can play a more active role in your community. What skills or resources do you have that could benefit others? How can you contribute to creating a more supportive and inclusive environment? By embracing Marcus Aurelius's teachings on community and social responsibility, you can cultivate a life of connection, purpose, and shared prosperity. With this in mind, we move forward to the next lesson, continuing our journey toward a more thoughtful and intentional way of living. Now turning to the 23rd lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore his teachings on the practice of detachment. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of focusing on what we can control, our actions, intentions, and efforts, rather than becoming overly attached to specific outcomes. He believed that much of our anxiety and frustration stems from our desire to control things that are ultimately beyond our power. By letting go of our attachment to results, we can find greater peace and resilience in the face of life's uncertainties. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This idea is central to the Stoic practice of detachment. It's not about giving up or being indifferent. Rather, it's about directing our energy toward what we can influence and accepting the rest with equanimity. For example, in your career, you can work diligently on a project, but you cannot control whether it will be praised or criticized. By focusing on the quality of your effort rather than the outcome, you reduce the stress of unmet expectations and build confidence in your abilities. This principle also applies to relationships. When we become too attached to how others should behave or respond, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Instead, Marcus Aurelius would encourage us to focus on how we show up in our interactions, being kind, honest, and present without demanding a specific reaction in return. This shift in mindset can lead to healthier, more authentic connections, free from the pressure of trying to control others. Detachment doesn't mean we stop caring about results altogether. It simply means we recognize that outcomes are influenced by countless factors beyond our control. By releasing our grip on the need for a particular result, we open ourselves to greater flexibility and adaptability. This mindset is especially valuable in times of change or adversity, as it allows us to navigate challenges with a sense of calm and clarity. To practice detachment in your own life, start by identifying areas where you feel overly attached to outcomes. Perhaps it's a promotion you're hoping for, a relationship you're trying to fix, or a personal goal you're striving to achieve. Reflect on what aspects of the situation are within your control and focus your efforts there. Remind yourself that while you can't dictate the outcome, you can always choose how you respond to it. Marcus Aurelius also suggested cultivating gratitude for the process itself, rather than fixating on the end result. For instance, if you're training for a marathon, appreciate the discipline and strength you're building, regardless of your finishing time. This perspective not only reduces anxiety, but also deepens your appreciation for the journey. As you integrate this lesson into your life, you'll likely find that detachment brings a sense of freedom and resilience. By focusing on effort rather than outcomes, you can approach challenges with a calm and steady mind, knowing that you've done your best. With this understanding, we move forward to the next lesson, continuing our exploration of Marcus Aurelius's timeless wisdom. Now turning to the 24th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the power of perspective. Marcus Aurelius was a master at viewing situations from multiple angles, a skill that allowed him to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and empathy. He understood that our initial reactions to events are often shaped by narrow or biased viewpoints, and that by broadening our perspective, we can uncover deeper truths and more effective solutions. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This reminder encourages us to step back and consider alternative viewpoints before forming judgments or making decisions. For example, if someone criticizes your work, instead of reacting defensively, try to understand their perspective. Perhaps they have insights that could help you improve, or maybe their criticism stems from their own insecurities. By shifting your perspective, you can respond with clarity and compassion rather than frustration. Broadening our perspective also fosters empathy. When we take the time to see the world through someone else's eyes, we develop a deeper understanding of their experiences and emotions. This can strengthen relationships and resolve conflicts more effectively. Marcus Aurelius believed that empathy was not just a moral virtue, but a practical tool for creating harmony in our interactions. To cultivate this skill, Marcus Aurelius suggested practicing what he called the view from above. Imagine looking down on your life from a great height, as if you were observing it from the perspective of the universe. From this vantage point, the things that seem overwhelming or significant in the moment, like a disagreement at work or a missed opportunity, appear small and fleeting. This exercise helps us gain a sense of proportion and reminds us that our challenges are temporary and manageable. Another practical exercise is to engage in reflective journaling. At the end of each day, write about a situation that troubled you and then explore it from different perspectives. Ask yourself questions like, how might someone else see this situation? Or what would I advise a friend in this position? This practice not only broadens your perspective, but also helps you develop greater self-awareness and emotional resilience. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of seeking out diverse opinions and experiences. Surround yourself with people who think differently from you and be open to learning from their viewpoints. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone, but by exposing yourself to a variety of perspectives, you can refine your own thinking and make more informed decisions. As you integrate this lesson into your life, you'll find that the power of perspective transforms how you approach challenges and relationships. By seeing situations from multiple angles, you can solve problems more effectively, connect with others more deeply, and navigate life with greater wisdom and grace. With this understanding, we move forward to the next lesson, continuing our journey through the timeless teachings of Marcus Aurelius. Now turning to the 25th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the importance of balance in life. Marcus Aurelius understood that a well-lived life requires harmony between various aspects of our existence: work, relationships, and self-care. He believed that neglecting any one of these areas could lead to dissatisfaction and inner turmoil, while maintaining balance fosters peace and fulfillment. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom reminds us that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we allocate our time and energy. By consciously balancing our responsibilities and passions, we create a life that feels purposeful and aligned with our values. Achieving balance begins with self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on how you currently spend your time. Are you overcommitting to work at the expense of your relationships or personal well-being? Or perhaps you're neglecting your professional goals while focusing solely on leisure. Marcus Aurelius encouraged us to regularly assess our priorities and make adjustments as needed. This doesn't mean striving for perfection, but rather aiming for a sustainable rhythm that supports your overall well-being. One practical way to cultivate balance is by setting boundaries. For example, designate specific times for work and leisure and stick to them as much as possible. When you're with loved ones, be fully present, and when you're working, focus on the task at hand. This intentional separation helps prevent burnout and ensures that each area of your life receives the attention it deserves. Another key aspect of balance is self-care. Marcus Aurelius recognized the importance of tending to our physical and mental health. Simple practices like regular exercise, adequate sleep, and moments of quiet reflection can recharge your energy and improve your ability to handle life's demands. Remember, self-care isn't selfish, it's essential for maintaining the resilience needed to care for others and pursue your goals. Relationships also play a vital role in achieving balance. Marcus Aurelius valued the connections we share with others, seeing them as a source of support and joy. Make time to nurture your relationships, whether through meaningful conversations, shared activities, or acts of kindness. These moments of connection not only enrich your life, but also provide a sense of grounding and perspective. Finally, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that balance is an ongoing practice, not a one-time achievement. Life is constantly changing, and our priorities may shift over time. Regularly check in with yourself to ensure that your actions align with your values and that you're giving attention to all areas of your life. By embracing this dynamic approach, you can navigate life's challenges with greater ease and grace. As we integrate this lesson into our lives, we discover that balance is not about perfection, but about making intentional choices that support our well-being. By harmonizing work, relationships, and self-care, we create a life that feels fulfilling and aligned with our deepest values. With this understanding, we move forward to the next lesson, continuing our journey through the timeless teachings of Marcus Aurelius. Now turning to the 26th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the practice of forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius believed that holding onto anger and grudges only weighs us down, preventing us from living freely and fully. In Meditations, he wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This profound statement reminds us that forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior, but about freeing ourselves from the burden of resentment. Forgiveness, as Marcus Aurelius teaches, is a powerful tool for mental and emotional well-being. When we hold on to anger, it festers within us, clouding our judgment and draining our energy. By choosing to forgive, we release this emotional weight, allowing ourselves to move forward with clarity and peace. Studies have shown that forgiveness can reduce stress, improve mental health, and even strengthen relationships. It's not about forgetting or condoning what happened, but about choosing to let go of the pain it caused. So, how can we practice forgiveness in our daily lives? The first step is to acknowledge the hurt. It's natural to feel anger or sadness when someone wrongs us, and suppressing these emotions only prolongs the healing process. Allow yourself to feel what you feel without judgment. Once you've acknowledged the pain, try to understand the other person's perspective. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that people act out of ignorance or their own struggles, not malice. This doesn't excuse their actions, but it can help you see them as flawed human beings just like yourself. Next, make a conscious decision to let go. Forgiveness is a choice, and it often requires repeated effort. You might not feel ready to forgive immediately, and that's okay. Start by setting the intention to release the resentment. Over time, this intention will grow into genuine forgiveness. One practical way to support this process is through journaling. Write down your feelings, reflect on the situation, and affirm your commitment to moving forward. This practice can help you process your emotions and reinforce your decision to forgive. Another powerful technique is to practice empathy. Try to imagine the circumstances that led the other person to act as they did. Perhaps they were dealing with their own pain or insecurities. By cultivating empathy, you can soften your heart and create space for forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that everyone is doing the best they can with the knowledge and resources they have. This perspective can help you approach forgiveness with compassion rather than bitterness. Finally, remember that forgiveness is as much for you as it is for the other person. Holding on to anger only harms you, while forgiveness sets you free. It allows you to reclaim your peace and focus on what truly matters in life. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By choosing forgiveness, you dye your soul with the colors of peace, compassion, and resilience. As we integrate this lesson into our lives, we discover that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness but a testament to our strength and wisdom. It's a practice that enriches our mental health, deepens our relationships, and brings us closer to the Stoic ideal of inner peace. With this understanding, we move forward to the next lesson, continuing our journey through the timeless teachings of Marcus Aurelius. Now turning to the 27th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the value of hard work. Marcus Aurelius, despite his position as a Roman emperor, deeply respected the dignity of labor. He believed that hard work was not just a means to an end but a path to building character and self-respect. In Meditations, he often reflected on the importance of doing one's duty with diligence and integrity, regardless of how small or mundane the task might seem. Hard work, as Marcus Aurelius teaches, is not about achieving external rewards or recognition. It's about cultivating inner strength and a sense of purpose. When we commit ourselves to our tasks, no matter how ordinary, we develop discipline, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for the effort required to create something meaningful. This mindset transforms even the simplest actions into opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Consider the act of tending to a garden. On the surface, it might seem like a routine chore, but when approached with intention and care, it becomes a reflection of our values. Each seed planted, each weed pulled, and each flower nurtured represents a commitment to creating beauty and order in the world. Marcus Aurelius would remind us that such efforts, though often unnoticed by others, contribute to our own sense of fulfillment and dignity. In modern life, we can apply this lesson by finding meaning in our daily responsibilities. Whether it's completing a project at work, helping a loved one, or even organizing our living space, every task offers a chance to practice diligence and mindfulness. By focusing on the process rather than the outcome, we align ourselves with the Stoic ideal of living virtuously and purposefully. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of perseverance. He understood that hard work often involves facing challenges and setbacks. Yet, it is through these struggles that we build resilience and learn to appreciate the value of our efforts. For instance, an artist might spend countless hours perfecting a piece, only to face criticism or rejection. but it is in the act of creation itself that the artist finds meaning and growth, regardless of external validation. To incorporate this lesson into your life, start by approaching your tasks with a sense of purpose. Reflect on how your efforts contribute to your personal growth and the well-being of those around you. Even in moments of frustration or monotony, remind yourself of the dignity inherent in hard work. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is not good for the swarm is not good for the bee." By dedicating ourselves to our roles and responsibilities, we not only strengthen our own character but also contribute to the greater good. As we embrace the value of hard work, we discover that it is not just a means to achieve success but a way to live with integrity and purpose. This lesson reminds us that every effort, no matter how small, has the power to shape our character and enrich our lives. With this understanding, we move forward to the next lesson, continuing our journey through the timeless teachings of Marcus Aurelius. Now turning to the 28th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the role of mentorship. Marcus Aurelius often expressed deep gratitude for the mentors who shaped his life and philosophy. In Meditations, he reflects on the wisdom and guidance he received from figures like his teacher Rusticus, who introduced him to Stoicism, and his adoptive father Antoninus Pius, who modeled virtuous leadership. These mentors not only imparted knowledge but also inspired Marcus to live with integrity and purpose. Mentorship, as Marcus Aurelius understood, is a powerful tool for personal growth. It allows us to learn from the experiences and insights of others, helping us navigate challenges and make wiser decisions. A mentor can provide perspective, encouragement, and accountability, all of which are invaluable on the journey towards self-improvement. Marcus himself acknowledged that he would not have become the man he was without the guidance of those who came before him. In today's world, mentorship remains just as relevant. Whether in our careers, personal lives, or even hobbies, having someone to guide us can accelerate our progress and deepen our understanding. For example, a young professional might seek out a mentor in their field to gain advice on navigating workplace dynamics or advancing their skills. Similarly, someone pursuing a creative passion like writing or painting might benefit from the feedback and encouragement of a more experienced artist. But mentorship is not a one-way street. Marcus Aurelius also reminds us of the importance of being a mentor to others. By sharing our knowledge and experiences, we contribute to the growth of those around us and create a ripple effect of wisdom and support. This reciprocal relationship enriches both the mentor and the mentee, fostering a sense of community and shared purpose. To incorporate this lesson into your life, start by identifying areas where you could benefit from guidance. Seek out individuals who embody the qualities or skills you admire, and don't hesitate to ask for their advice or support. At the same time, reflect on how you can offer mentorship to others. Perhaps you have expertise in a particular area or life experiences that could inspire and guide someone else. Even small acts of encouragement or sharing lessons learned can make a significant impact. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that mentorship is not just about acquiring knowledge, but about building meaningful connections and contributing to the growth of others. As he wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By embracing the role of both mentee and mentor, we not only honor the wisdom of those who came before us, but also pave the way for future generations to thrive. With this understanding, we move forward to the next lesson, continuing our exploration of Marcus Aurelius's timeless teachings. Now turning to the 29th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the practice of moderation. Marcus Aurelius believed that excess in any form, whether in indulgence, ambition, or even emotion, could lead to imbalance and suffering. In Meditations, he often reflected on the importance of finding a middle path, one that avoids the extremes of overindulgence and deprivation. This principle of moderation, he argued, is essential for achieving a harmonious and fulfilling life. At its core, moderation is about self-awareness and self-control. It requires us to recognize our desires and impulses but not let them dictate our actions. For example, Marcus Aurelius cautioned against overeating or indulging in luxury, as these behaviors can harm both the body and the mind. Instead, he advocated for a balanced approach to consumption, one that nourishes without excess. This same principle applies to work and leisure. Overworking can lead to burnout, while too much leisure can result in laziness. By practicing moderation, we can maintain a healthy equilibrium that supports both productivity and rest. In modern life, moderation can be applied in countless ways. Consider diet. Rather than following extreme fads or depriving ourselves, we can focus on eating mindfully, enjoying a variety of foods in appropriate portions. Similarly, in our professional lives, setting boundaries around work hours and prioritizing self-care can prevent burnout and improve overall well-being. Even in leisure activities, moderation helps us avoid overstimulation and find genuine enjoyment in simpler pleasures, like reading a book or spending time in nature. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of emotional moderation. He believed that unchecked emotions, whether anger, fear, or even excessive joy, could cloud our judgment and lead to poor decisions. By practicing emotional restraint and cultivating a calm, rational mindset, we can respond to life's challenges with clarity and composure. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather acknowledging them without letting them take control. To incorporate this lesson into your life, start by reflecting on areas where you might be prone to excess. Are there habits or behaviors that feel out of balance? Once identified, take small, intentional steps toward moderation. For instance, if you tend to overcommit at work, set clear boundaries and prioritize tasks that align with your values. If you find yourself overindulging in entertainment, carve out time for quieter, more reflective activities. The goal is not perfection but progress toward a more balanced and intentional way of living. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that moderation is not about denying ourselves pleasure but about finding a sustainable and meaningful way to live. As he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. By embracing moderation, we cultivate the strength to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. With this understanding, we move forward to the next lesson, continuing our journey through the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. Now turning to the 30th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the importance of courage. Marcus Aurelius, a man who faced immense challenges as both a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, understood that courage is not the absence of fear but the ability to act in spite of it. In Meditations, he often reflected on the necessity of courage in confronting life's uncertainties and adversities. For Marcus, courage was not just a virtue but a fundamental tool for personal growth and resilience. Courage, as Marcus Aurelius saw it, is about facing the unknown with a steady heart and a clear mind. It's about standing firm in the face of difficulty, whether that difficulty comes from external circumstances or internal struggles. He believed that every challenge, no matter how daunting, is an opportunity to strengthen our character and deepen our understanding of ourselves. This perspective transforms fear from an obstacle into a teacher, guiding us toward greater self-awareness and inner strength. In everyday life, courage manifests in countless ways. It might mean speaking up for what is right, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. It could involve taking a risk, like starting a new career or pursuing a passion despite the fear of failure. Courage also shows up in smaller, quieter moments like admitting a mistake, asking for help, or choosing to forgive when it feels easier to hold a grudge. These acts of bravery, though they may seem small, accumulate over time, building a foundation of resilience and confidence. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of courage in dealing with our own emotions. Fear, anxiety, and doubt are natural parts of the human experience, but they don't have to control us. By practicing courage, we can face these emotions head-on, acknowledging them without letting them dictate our actions. This doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing our feelings, but rather meeting them with a sense of calm determination. As Marcus wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the very challenges we fear can become the path to our growth if we approach them with courage. To cultivate courage in your own life, start by identifying areas where fear might be holding you back. Are there decisions you've been avoiding or conversations you've been putting off? Once you've pinpointed these areas, take small, deliberate steps toward facing them. For example, if you're nervous about public speaking, start by sharing your ideas in smaller, more familiar settings. If you're hesitant to make a big life change, break it down into manageable steps and tackle them one at a time. Remember, courage is not about being fearless, but about moving forward despite the fear. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that courage is not just for extraordinary moments, but for the everyday challenges that shape our lives. By embracing courage, we not only overcome obstacles, but also discover our own capacity for growth and transformation. As we continue our journey through the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, let this lesson inspire you to face life's uncertainties with a brave and open heart. Now turning to the 31st lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the role of gratitude in relationships. Marcus Aurelius, a man who valued the interconnectedness of all people, often reflected on the importance of appreciating those around us. In Meditations, he wrote about the profound impact that gratitude can have on our relationships, not only strengthening bonds but also fostering a deeper sense of connection and mutual respect. Gratitude, as Marcus saw it, is more than just saying thank you. It's about recognizing the value that others bring to our lives and acknowledging their efforts, kindness, and presence. He believed that gratitude is a powerful force that can transform relationships, turning ordinary interactions into meaningful exchanges. When we express gratitude, we not only uplift others, but also cultivate a sense of humility and appreciation within ourselves. This creates a positive cycle where both parties feel seen, valued, and connected. In relationships, gratitude acts as a bridge, helping us navigate conflicts and misunderstandings with greater empathy and understanding. It reminds us to focus on what we have rather than what we lack, shifting our perspective from criticism to appreciation. For example, instead of dwelling on a partner's shortcomings, we can choose to acknowledge their strengths and the ways they contribute to our lives. This simple shift can diffuse tension and create a more supportive and loving environment. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of expressing gratitude regularly, not just in moments of celebration, but in the everyday moments that often go unnoticed. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or even a moment of genuine eye contact can convey appreciation in ways that words alone cannot. These small acts of gratitude accumulate over time, building a foundation of trust and affection that strengthens the relationship. To practice gratitude in your own relationships, start by making it a habit to reflect on the positive qualities of the people in your life. What do you admire about them? How have they supported or inspired you? Once you've identified these qualities, find ways to express your appreciation. This could be through a heartfelt note, a spontaneous compliment, or simply taking the time to listen and be present. The key is to be sincere and specific, showing that you truly see and value the other person. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that gratitude is not just a feeling but an action. By actively practicing gratitude, we not only enrich our relationships but also deepen our own sense of fulfillment and connection. As we continue to explore the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, let this lesson inspire you to cultivate gratitude in your interactions and nurture the bonds that bring meaning to your life. Now turning to the 32nd lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the practice of mindfulness in communication. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher who valued clarity and intentionality in all aspects of life, often emphasized the importance of speaking and listening with purpose. In Meditations, he reflected on how mindful communication can transform our interactions, fostering deeper connections and reducing unnecessary conflicts. Mindful communication, as Marcus saw it, begins with being fully present in the moment. It's about listening not just to respond, but to truly understand the other person's perspective. This requires setting aside distractions, whether they're external, like our phones, or internal, like our own preconceived judgments. When we approach conversations with this level of attentiveness, we create a space where both parties feel heard and respected. Marcus Aurelius also stressed the importance of choosing our words carefully. He believed that words have the power to either heal or harm, and that we should use them with intention and kindness. This means avoiding impulsive reactions, especially in moments of frustration or disagreement. Instead, take a moment to pause, reflect, and respond in a way that aligns with your values and the respect you have for the other person. This deliberate approach not only prevents misunderstandings but also builds trust and mutual respect. Another key aspect of mindful communication is empathy. Marcus encouraged us to consider the emotions and experiences of others before speaking. By putting ourselves in their shoes, we can better understand their perspective and respond in a way that fosters connection rather than division. For example, if someone shares a concern or frustration, instead of immediately offering advice or dismissing their feelings, try acknowledging their emotions and validating their experience. This simple act can make the other person feel seen and supported. To practice mindful communication in your own life, start by cultivating awareness in your conversations. Before speaking, ask yourself, is what I'm about to say true, necessary, and kind? This simple filter can help you avoid unnecessary conflicts and ensure that your words contribute positively to the interaction. Additionally, make a conscious effort to listen actively. This means maintaining eye contact, nodding to show understanding, and asking clarifying questions to demonstrate your engagement. Marcus Aurelius also reminds us that silence can be a powerful tool in communication. Sometimes, the most mindful response is to say nothing at all, allowing the other person the space to express themselves fully. This practice not only shows respect but also gives you the opportunity to reflect before responding. By incorporating these principles of mindful communication into your daily interactions, you can create more meaningful and harmonious relationships. As we continue to explore the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, let this lesson inspire you to approach every conversation with presence, intention, and empathy, enriching both your connections and your own sense of inner peace. Now turning to the 33rd lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the importance of self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius, a man deeply committed to self-improvement, believed that examining our own thoughts and actions was essential for living a virtuous and fulfilling life. In Meditations, he often wrote about the value of looking inward, not as a form of self-criticism, but as a way to understand ourselves better and align our actions with our highest principles. Self-reflection, as Marcus practiced it, is about taking a step back from the busyness of life to evaluate our choices, motivations, and behaviors. It's a moment of honesty with ourselves where we ask, am I living in accordance with my values? Are my actions contributing to my growth and the well-being of others? By regularly engaging in this practice, we gain clarity about who we are and what we truly want, which in turn helps us make better decisions and avoid repeating past mistakes. One of the most powerful tools Marcus used for self-reflection was journaling. He would write down his thoughts, challenges, and lessons learned, creating a space for introspection and growth. This habit allowed him to process his experiences, identify patterns, and hold himself accountable. For example, he often reflected on his reactions to difficult situations, asking himself whether he responded with patience, wisdom, or unnecessary anger. Through this process, he continually refined his character and strengthened his commitment to Stoic principles. To incorporate self-reflection into your own life, consider starting a daily or weekly journaling practice. Begin by asking yourself simple yet profound questions such as, what did I do well today? Where could I have acted differently? What lessons did I learn from my interactions or challenges? These prompts can help you gain insight into your behavior and thought patterns, guiding you toward greater self-awareness and personal growth. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of reflecting on our progress over time. He believed that growth is a gradual process and that by regularly assessing our development, we can stay motivated and focused on our goals. For instance, you might look back at your journal entries from a month or a year ago and notice how your responses to certain situations have evolved. This not only reinforces your progress but also reminds you of the power of consistent effort. Another key aspect of self-reflection is cultivating a mindset of curiosity and openness. Instead of judging yourself harshly for mistakes, approach your reflections with a sense of curiosity. Ask yourself, why did I react that way? What can I learn from this experience? This shift in perspective allows you to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than failures, fostering resilience and a deeper understanding of yourself. By making self-reflection a regular part of your routine, you can develop greater self-awareness, make more intentional choices, and live a life that aligns with your values. As we continue to uncover the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, let this lesson inspire you to pause, reflect, and grow one thoughtful moment at a time. Now turning to the 34th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the role of resilience in adversity. Marcus Aurelius, who faced countless challenges during his reign as emperor, often reflected on the importance of enduring hardships with strength and composure. He believed that resilience was not just about surviving difficult times, but about using them as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. In Meditations, Marcus wrote extensively about the inevitability of adversity. He saw challenges not as obstacles to avoid, but as tests of character. For him, resilience was about maintaining a calm and rational mind, even in the face of chaos. He taught that by accepting difficulties as a natural part of life, we can respond to them with clarity and purpose rather than fear or frustration. One of the key strategies Marcus advocated for building resilience is the practice of reframing. Instead of viewing adversity as something negative, he encouraged seeing it as an opportunity to practice virtues like patience, courage, and perseverance. For example, when faced with a setback, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to become stronger? By shifting your perspective, you can transform challenges into stepping stones for personal growth. Another important aspect of resilience, according to Marcus, is focusing on what you can control. He often reminded himself that while external events are beyond his control, his reactions and attitudes are entirely within his power. This Stoic principle helps reduce feelings of helplessness and empowers you to take constructive action, even in difficult circumstances. For instance, if you're dealing with a stressful situation at work, instead of fixating on the problem, focus on how you can respond with integrity and calmness. Marcus also emphasized the importance of preparation. He believed that by mentally rehearsing potential challenges, we can build the emotional and mental strength needed to face them when they arise. This doesn't mean dwelling on negative possibilities, but rather cultivating a mindset of readiness. For example, you might imagine how you would handle a difficult conversation or a sudden change in plans. By preparing in advance, you can approach adversity with greater confidence and resilience. Another powerful strategy for building resilience is seeking support from others. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the interconnectedness of humanity and the importance of leaning on others during tough times. Whether it's through seeking advice, sharing your struggles, or simply spending time with loved ones, connecting with others can provide strength and perspective when you need it most. Finally, Marcus taught that resilience is a skill that grows with practice. Just as a muscle becomes stronger through exercise, your ability to endure and thrive in adversity improves with each challenge you face. By consistently applying these strategies, reframing, focusing on what you can control, preparing mentally, and seeking support, you can build the resilience needed to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and strength. As we continue to explore the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, let this lesson on resilience inspire you to face challenges with courage and determination. Remember, adversity is not the end of the road, but an opportunity to discover your inner strength and grow into the best version of yourself. Now, turning to the 35th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the practice of letting go. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled an empire, understood the weight of attachments, whether to outcomes, possessions, or even expectations. In Meditations, he frequently reflected on the freedom that comes from releasing these attachments. He believed that clinging too tightly to things beyond our control only leads to unnecessary stress and suffering. Instead, he encouraged a mindset of detachment where we focus on what truly matters, our actions, intentions, and inner peace. One of the core ideas Marcus emphasized is that everything in life is temporary. Possessions, achievements, and even relationships are subject to change. By accepting this impermanence, we can reduce our anxiety about losing what we hold dear. For example, if you've ever felt stressed about a promotion at work or worried about losing a prized possession, Marcus would remind you that these things are not within your ultimate control. What you can control, however, is how you respond to these situations. Letting go of the need to control outcomes allows you to approach life with greater calm and clarity. Marcus also taught that letting go of external validation is crucial for inner freedom. Many of us seek approval from others, whether it's through social media likes, praise from a boss, or recognition from peers. But Marcus warned against tying your self-worth to these external measures. Instead, he encouraged focusing on your own values and actions. For instance, if you've worked hard on a project, take pride in the effort you've put in, regardless of the outcome or others' opinions. This shift in focus can liberate you from the constant need for approval and help you find contentment within yourself. Another practical way to practice letting go is through mindfulness. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of living in the present moment. When we dwell on past mistakes or worry about future uncertainties, we create unnecessary stress. By grounding yourself in the here and now, you can let go of regrets and anxieties. A simple exercise is to take a few moments each day to focus on your breath or observe your surroundings without judgment. This practice can help you release the mental clutter and find peace in the present. Letting go also applies to relationships. Marcus believed that holding onto grudges or resentment only harms the person carrying them. He encouraged forgiveness not because others deserve it, but because it frees you from the burden of anger. For example, if someone has wronged you, consider how holding onto that anger affects your well-being. By choosing to let go, you reclaim your emotional energy and create space for more positive experiences. Finally, Marcus Aurelius taught that letting go is not about giving up or being passive. It's about recognizing what you can and cannot control and directing your energy toward what truly matters. For instance, if you're facing a difficult decision, focus on making the best choice you can with the information available, rather than obsessing over the potential outcomes. This approach reduces stress and empowers you to take action without being paralyzed by fear of failure. As we move forward in our exploration of Marcus Aurelius's teachings, let this lesson on letting go remind you of the freedom that comes from releasing attachments. By practicing detachment, you can navigate life's uncertainties with greater ease and focus on what truly matters, your inner growth and peace of mind. Now turning to the 36th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the importance of authenticity. Marcus Aurelius, a man who carried the immense responsibility of leading an empire, understood the value of being true to oneself. In Meditations, he often reflected on the idea that living authentically is not just a virtue but a path to inner peace and self-respect. He believed that when we align our actions with our true values and beliefs, we create a life of integrity and purpose. One of the key teachings Marcus emphasized is that authenticity begins with self-awareness. To live authentically, you must first understand who you are, your strengths, weaknesses, values, and desires. This requires honest self-reflection, a practice Marcus himself engaged in regularly. For example, he would often ask himself questions like, "Am I acting in accordance with my principles?" or "Am I being true to myself in this situation?" By continually checking in with yourself, you can ensure that your actions reflect your true nature rather than being influenced by external pressures or expectations. Marcus also taught that authenticity fosters self-respect. When you live in alignment with your values, you build a sense of pride and confidence in your choices. This self-respect is not dependent on others' opinions or approval but comes from within. For instance, if you've ever felt the pressure to conform to societal norms or please others at the expense of your own happiness, Marcus would encourage you to pause and consider whether those actions truly reflect who you are. By choosing authenticity, you honor yourself and cultivate a deeper sense of self-worth. Living authentically also strengthens relationships. Marcus believed that genuine connections are built on honesty and transparency. When you are true to yourself, you attract people who appreciate and respect you for who you are, not for who you pretend to be. For example, if you've ever felt the need to hide parts of yourself to fit in or gain acceptance, Marcus would remind you that such relationships are built on shaky ground. Authenticity, on the other hand, creates a foundation of trust and mutual respect, leading to more meaningful and fulfilling connections. So, how can you practice authenticity in your daily life? One practical tip is to start small. Identify areas where you feel you're not being fully true to yourself and take steps to change that. It could be as simple as expressing your true opinion in a conversation or pursuing a hobby that genuinely interests you, even if it's not popular. Another tip is to surround yourself with people who encourage and support your authentic self. These individuals will help you stay grounded and remind you of the importance of being true to who you are. Marcus also warned against the dangers of ego and vanity, which can distort our sense of self and lead us away from authenticity. He encouraged humility and self-awareness as tools to counteract these tendencies. For example, if you find yourself seeking validation or comparing yourself to others, take a moment to reflect on your own values and goals. By focusing on what truly matters to you, you can avoid the trap of living for others' approval and instead live a life that is genuinely your own. In essence, Marcus Aurelius's teachings on authenticity remind us that being true to ourselves is not just a moral choice but a practical one. It leads to greater self-respect, deeper relationships, and a more fulfilling life. As we continue to explore his timeless wisdom, let this lesson inspire you to embrace your true self and live with integrity, knowing that authenticity is the foundation of a meaningful and purposeful existence. Now turning to the 37th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the role of compassion in leadership. As a Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius faced the immense responsibility of guiding an empire, and his writings in Meditations reveal a profound understanding of what it means to lead with compassion and fairness. He believed that true leadership is not about wielding power or authority, but about serving others with empathy and integrity. For Marcus, compassion was not a weakness but a strength, a quality that fosters trust, loyalty, and unity among those you lead. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the idea that leaders must see themselves as part of a larger whole, connected to the people they serve. He wrote, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." This metaphor highlights the importance of considering the well-being of the entire community, not just individual interests. A compassionate leader, according to Marcus, prioritizes the needs of others and acts with fairness and kindness even in difficult situations. This approach not only strengthens relationships but also inspires loyalty and respect from those who follow. One of the key ways Marcus demonstrated compassion in his own leadership was through his emphasis on justice. He believed that a leader must be fair and impartial, treating everyone with equal respect and dignity. For example, he often reminded himself to approach decisions with a clear mind, free from personal biases or emotions. This practice allowed him to make choices that were just and equitable, ensuring that his actions benefited the greater good rather than serving his own interests. In modern leadership roles, this lesson can be applied by striving to make decisions that are fair and transparent, even when faced with challenging circumstances. Compassionate leadership also involves active listening and understanding. Marcus Aurelius encouraged leaders to take the time to truly understand the perspectives and needs of those they lead. By doing so, leaders can build trust and create an environment where people feel valued and heard. For instance, in a workplace setting, a compassionate leader might hold regular one-on-one meetings with team members to discuss their concerns, goals, and ideas. This not only fosters a sense of belonging but also empowers individuals to contribute their best work. Another important aspect of compassionate leadership, as taught by Marcus, is the ability to remain calm and composed under pressure. He believed that a leader's emotional state sets the tone for the entire group. If a leader reacts with anger or frustration, it can create a toxic environment. On the other hand, a leader who responds with patience and understanding can diffuse tension and inspire confidence. For example, during times of crisis or conflict, a compassionate leader might take a moment to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. This approach not only resolves issues more effectively, but also strengthens the team's resilience and cohesion. Marcus also emphasized the importance of humility in leadership. He believed that a compassionate leader must recognize their own limitations and be willing to learn from others. This humility allows leaders to admit mistakes, seek feedback, and continuously improve. In modern leadership, this might look like a manager openly acknowledging a misstep and taking steps to correct it, or a CEO actively seeking input from employees at all levels of the organization. By demonstrating humility, leaders show that they value the contributions of others and are committed to collective growth. In essence, Marcus Aurelius's teachings on compassionate leadership remind us that true power lies in empathy, fairness, and service. By leading with compassion, we not only inspire loyalty and trust, but also create a positive and productive environment for those we lead. As we continue to explore his timeless wisdom, let this lesson encourage you to approach leadership with kindness and integrity, knowing that the way you lead can have a profound impact on the lives of others. Now turning to the 38th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the practice of contentment. In a world often driven by the pursuit of more success, more possessions, more recognition, Marcus Aurelius offers a counterintuitive yet deeply fulfilling perspective. He teaches that true contentment is not found in external achievements or material wealth, but within ourselves. By cultivating an inner sense of peace and satisfaction, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of seeking validation from the outside world. Marcus often reflected on the fleeting nature of external rewards and the dangers of tying our happiness to them. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This simple yet profound insight reminds us that contentment is a state of mind, one that we can nurture regardless of our circumstances. When we shift our focus from what we lack to what we already have, we begin to experience a deeper sense of fulfillment. One of the key practices Marcus advocated for cultivating contentment is gratitude. He believed that by regularly reflecting on the things we are grateful for, we can train our minds to appreciate the present moment. For example, keeping a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you are thankful for each day can help shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance. This practice not only fosters contentment but also reduces the constant craving for more. Another important aspect of contentment, according to Marcus, is the acceptance of what we cannot control. He taught that much of our dissatisfaction stems from resisting reality or clinging to unrealistic expectations. By accepting life as it is, with all its imperfections and uncertainties, we can find peace in the present moment. This doesn't mean giving up on growth or improvement, but rather approaching life with a sense of equanimity, knowing that external circumstances are often beyond our control. Marcus also emphasized the importance of simplicity in achieving contentment. He believed that a cluttered life filled with unnecessary possessions, commitments, and distractions can hinder our ability to find inner peace. By simplifying our lives, we create space for what truly matters. This might involve decluttering your physical environment, setting boundaries with your time, or focusing on meaningful relationships rather than superficial connections. In modern life, the practice of contentment can be particularly challenging, given the constant bombardment of messages telling us we need more to be happy. However, Marcus's teachings remind us that true happiness comes from within. By focusing on our values, practicing gratitude, and embracing simplicity, we can cultivate a lasting sense of contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. As we reflect on this lesson, consider how you can apply Marcus Aurelius's wisdom to your own life. What practices can you adopt to nurture contentment within yourself? How can you shift your focus from external validation to inner peace? By embracing these teachings, you can begin to experience the profound freedom and fulfillment that comes from living a contented life. Now turning to the 39th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the importance of adaptability. In a world that is constantly changing, Marcus teaches us that flexibility is not just a skill but a necessity for living a fulfilling life. He believed that the ability to adapt to new circumstances, whether they are personal, professional, or societal, is key to maintaining inner peace and achieving success. Marcus often reflected on the inevitability of change, reminding himself that life is a series of transitions. He wrote, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." This simple yet profound statement underscores the idea that change is not something to be feared or resisted, but embraced as a natural part of existence. By accepting change and adapting to it, we can navigate life's challenges with greater ease and resilience. One of the ways Marcus practiced adaptability was by maintaining a mindset of openness and curiosity. He encouraged himself to view change as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. For example, when faced with unexpected setbacks or shifts in his responsibilities as emperor, he approached them with a sense of curiosity, asking himself what he could learn from the situation. This mindset allowed him to turn potential obstacles into opportunities for personal and professional development. In modern life, adaptability is especially crucial in the face of rapid technological advancements, shifting job markets, and evolving social dynamics. Consider the example of someone transitioning to a new career. Instead of resisting the change or clinging to the familiarity of their old job, they can embrace the opportunity to learn new skills, expand their network, and explore different aspects of their potential. By doing so, they not only increase their chances of success, but also cultivate a sense of confidence and resilience. Marcus also emphasized the importance of emotional adaptability. He taught that our reactions to change are often more significant than the changes themselves. By managing our emotions and maintaining a calm, rational perspective, we can respond to change more effectively. For instance, when faced with a sudden loss or disappointment, instead of allowing despair to take over, we can choose to focus on what we can control and take constructive steps forward. This approach not only helps us cope with the immediate challenge, but also strengthens our ability to handle future changes. Another key aspect of adaptability, according to Marcus, is the willingness to let go of rigid expectations. He believed that clinging to specific outcomes or plans often leads to frustration and dissatisfaction. Instead, he encouraged a more fluid approach to life, where we remain open to different possibilities and adjust our course as needed. This doesn't mean abandoning goals or values, but rather being flexible in how we pursue them. For example, if a project at work doesn't go as planned, instead of viewing it as a failure, we can see it as a chance to pivot and explore alternative solutions. In personal relationships, adaptability plays a crucial role as well. As people grow and change, so do their needs and dynamics. By being open to these shifts and willing to adjust our expectations and behaviors, we can maintain stronger, more meaningful connections. For instance, when a friend or family member goes through a significant life change, such as becoming a parent or moving to a new city, adapting to their new reality can help preserve and even deepen the relationship. As we reflect on this lesson, consider how you can cultivate adaptability in your own life. What changes are you currently facing, and how can you approach them with openness and resilience? How can you let go of rigid expectations and embrace the fluidity of life? By adopting Marcus Aurelius's teachings on adaptability, you can navigate life's uncertainties with greater ease and find success and happiness in the process. Now turning to the 40th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the role of empathy in relationships. Marcus believed that understanding others' perspectives was not just a moral duty, but a practical tool for building stronger, more meaningful connections. He often reflected on the interconnectedness of all people, reminding himself that everyone is part of the same universal fabric. This perspective encouraged him to approach relationships with compassion and a genuine desire to understand others. Marcus wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil." While this might sound harsh at first, it reveals a profound truth. People's actions are often shaped by their own struggles and limitations. By recognizing this, Marcus taught that we can respond to others with empathy rather than judgment, fostering deeper understanding and harmony. Empathy, as Marcus saw it, is the ability to step into someone else's shoes and see the world through their eyes. It's about listening not just to respond, but to truly understand. In relationships, this skill is invaluable. When conflicts arise, empathy allows us to move beyond our own frustrations and consider the other person's feelings and motivations. For example, if a friend cancels plans at the last minute, instead of reacting with anger, we might consider that they could be dealing with stress or personal challenges. This shift in perspective can transform potential conflicts into opportunities for connection and support. Marcus also emphasized the importance of empathy in leadership and community. As an emperor, he understood that his decisions affected countless lives. By striving to understand the needs and perspectives of those he governed, he was able to lead with fairness and compassion. This principle applies to modern leadership as well. Whether you're managing a team, leading a project, or simply navigating family dynamics, empathy can help you make decisions that consider the well-being of everyone involved. So, how can we cultivate empathy in our own lives? One practical way is to practice active listening. This means giving your full attention to the person speaking without interrupting or planning your response. It's about being present and genuinely seeking to understand their thoughts and feelings. Another way is to ask open-ended questions that encourage others to share more about their experiences. For instance, instead of asking, "Did you have a good day?" you might ask, "What was the most challenging part of your day?" These small shifts can create space for deeper conversations and mutual understanding. Marcus also encouraged self-reflection as a way to develop empathy. By examining our own actions and motivations, we become more aware of how our behavior affects others. This self-awareness helps us approach relationships with humility and a willingness to grow. For example, if you find yourself frustrated with a colleague, take a moment to reflect on whether your own expectations or assumptions might be contributing to the tension. This kind of introspection can lead to more empathetic interactions. In personal relationships, empathy can be a powerful tool for resolving conflicts and strengthening bonds. When disagreements arise, try to focus on understanding the other person's perspective before defending your own. This doesn't mean abandoning your own feelings or needs, but rather creating a space where both perspectives can coexist. By doing so, you can work together to find solutions that honor both parties. As we reflect on this lesson, consider how empathy plays a role in your own relationships. How can you practice active listening and self-reflection to better understand those around you? How can you approach conflicts with compassion and a willingness to see things from another's point of view? By embracing Marcus Aurelius's teachings on empathy, you can build stronger, more meaningful connections and create a more harmonious world, one relationship at a time. Now turning to the 41st lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the practice of generosity. Marcus believed that giving, whether in the form of time, resources, or kindness, was not just a moral duty but a profound way to enrich both the giver and the receiver. He saw generosity as a natural expression of our interconnectedness, a way to strengthen the bonds that tie us all together. In his writings, he often reminded himself to give freely and without expectation, understanding that true generosity comes from a place of abundance rather than obligation. Marcus wrote, "What is not good for the swarm is not good for the bee." This simple yet powerful metaphor highlights the idea that our well-being is deeply tied to the well-being of others. When we give, we contribute to the health and harmony of the larger community, which in turn benefits us individually. Generosity, as Marcus saw it, is not about grand gestures or material wealth. It's about the small, everyday acts of kindness that create ripples of positivity in the world around us. For example, Marcus often reflected on the importance of giving time and attention to others. In a world that can feel rushed and disconnected, simply taking a moment to listen to someone, offer a kind word, or lend a helping hand can make a significant difference. These small acts of generosity don't require wealth or resources, they only require presence and intention. Whether it's holding the door for a stranger, offering to help a colleague with a task, or checking in on a friend who's going through a tough time, these gestures can have a lasting impact. Generosity also extends to how we share our knowledge and skills. Marcus believed that teaching and mentoring others was a form of giving that could uplift entire communities. By sharing what we know, we empower others to grow and succeed, creating a cycle of generosity that benefits everyone involved. For instance, if you have expertise in a particular area, offering to guide someone who's just starting out can be a meaningful way to give back. But generosity isn't just about what we give to others, it's also about what we gain in return. Marcus understood that giving fosters gratitude, humility, and a sense of purpose. When we give, we shift our focus away from our own concerns and toward the needs of others. This shift in perspective can be incredibly grounding, reminding us of what truly matters in life. It also helps us cultivate a mindset of abundance where we recognize that we have more than enough to share. So, how can we practice generosity in our daily lives? Start by looking for small opportunities to give. It could be as simple as complimenting someone, donating unused items to those in need, or volunteering your time for a cause you care about. The key is to give without expecting anything in return, allowing the act itself to be its own reward. Marcus also encouraged reflecting on the impact of your generosity, not to boast or seek recognition, but to remind yourself of the power of giving. As we reflect on this lesson, consider how generosity plays a role in your own life. What small acts of kindness can you incorporate into your daily routine? How can you give more freely, not just of your resources, but of your time, attention, and compassion? By embracing Marcus Aurelius's teachings on generosity, you can create a ripple effect of kindness and connection, enriching both your life and the lives of those around you. Now turning to the 42nd lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the importance of perseverance. Marcus Aurelius, a man who faced immense challenges as both a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, understood deeply that life is filled with obstacles. Yet he believed that it is through persistence and resilience that we grow stronger and achieve our highest potential. In his writings, he often reminded himself to embrace difficulties as opportunities for growth rather than as setbacks to be avoided. Marcus wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful statement encapsulates the Stoic belief that challenges are not barriers but pathways to progress. When we face adversity, we have a choice to give up or to push forward. Perseverance, as Marcus saw it, is about choosing the latter, about finding the strength to continue even when the path ahead seems daunting. It's about recognizing that every challenge we overcome makes us more capable, more resilient, and more prepared for what lies ahead. Consider, for example, the challenges Marcus faced during his reign. From managing a vast empire to dealing with personal losses and health issues, his life was far from easy. Yet he approached each difficulty with a mindset of perseverance. He didn't see himself as a victim of circumstance, but as an active participant in his own life, capable of shaping his response to whatever came his way. This attitude allowed him to lead with wisdom and integrity, even in the face of immense pressure. In our own lives, perseverance can take many forms. It might mean continuing to work toward a long-term goal, even when progress feels slow. It could involve staying committed to a relationship or a project, even when obstacles arise. Or it might simply mean getting up each day and doing what needs to be done, even when we feel tired or discouraged. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that perseverance isn't about never feeling doubt or fear, it's about moving forward despite those feelings. One practical way to cultivate perseverance is to break large challenges into smaller, more manageable steps. When a task feels overwhelming, focusing on just the next step can make it easier to keep going. Marcus also encouraged reflecting on past successes, not to dwell on them, but to remind ourselves that we have overcome difficulties before and can do so again. This reflection can build confidence and reinforce the belief that persistence pays off. Another key aspect of perseverance is maintaining a sense of purpose. Marcus often reminded himself of his larger goals and values, using them as a source of motivation during tough times. When we have a clear sense of why we're doing something, it becomes easier to stay committed, even when the journey is difficult. For instance, if you're working toward a career goal, reminding yourself of how it aligns with your values or how it will benefit others can help you stay focused and motivated. Perseverance also requires self-compassion. Marcus understood that we are human and that setbacks are a natural part of life. Rather than berating ourselves for mistakes or failures, we can learn from them and use them as stepping stones toward growth. This mindset shift from seeing failure as a dead end to viewing it as a learning opportunity can make all the difference in our ability to persevere. As we reflect on this lesson, consider the challenges you're currently facing. How can you approach them with a mindset of perseverance? What small steps can you take today to move forward, even if progress feels slow? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius taught, the obstacles in your path are not there to stop you, they are there to shape you. By embracing perseverance, you can turn challenges into opportunities and continue moving toward your goals with strength and determination. Now turning to the 43rd lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the role of wisdom in decision-making. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher who constantly reflected on the nature of life and leadership, believed that wisdom was the cornerstone of making sound choices. He understood that every decision we make, no matter how small, shapes our lives and the lives of those around us. In his writings, he emphasized the importance of approaching decisions with clarity, reason, and a deep understanding of what truly matters. Marcus wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This profound statement reminds us that our decisions are a reflection of our inner state. When we act with wisdom, we align our choices with our values and principles, leading to outcomes that bring us closer to inner peace and fulfillment. Wisdom, in the Stoic sense, isn't just about knowledge or intelligence. It's about understanding the bigger picture, recognizing what is within our control, and making choices that contribute to a virtuous and meaningful life. One of the key ways Marcus Aurelius cultivated wisdom was through daily reflection. He would often take time to examine his thoughts, actions, and decisions, asking himself whether they aligned with his values and the greater good. This practice of self-examination allowed him to learn from his experiences and make better choices in the future. For us, this might mean setting aside a few minutes each day to reflect on our decisions, considering what went well, what could have been done differently, and what lessons we can carry forward. Another important aspect of wise decision-making is seeking guidance from others. Marcus often reflected on the lessons he learned from his mentors and predecessors, recognizing that wisdom is often passed down through the experiences of those who came before us. In our own lives, this could involve seeking advice from trusted friends, family members, or mentors when faced with difficult decisions. By considering different perspectives, we can gain a more comprehensive understanding of the situation and make choices that are informed and balanced. Marcus also believed in the power of patience when it comes to decision-making. He understood that rushing into decisions often leads to regret, while taking the time to weigh our options allows us to act with greater clarity and confidence. This doesn't mean we should avoid making decisions altogether. Rather, it's about finding the right balance between thoughtful consideration and decisive action. For example, if you're faced with a career decision, taking the time to reflect on your long-term goals and values can help you make a choice that aligns with your true priorities. A practical way to cultivate wisdom is through continuous learning. Marcus Aurelius was an avid reader and thinker, always seeking to expand his understanding of the world and himself. In our modern lives, this might involve reading books, attending workshops, or engaging in conversations that challenge our perspectives and deepen our knowledge. By committing to lifelong learning, we can develop the wisdom needed to navigate life's complexities with grace and insight. Finally, Marcus reminds us that wisdom involves accepting the impermanence of life and the unpredictability of outcomes. No matter how carefully we plan or how wisely we decide, there will always be factors beyond our control. By embracing this reality, we can approach decision-making with humility and resilience, knowing that even if things don't go as planned, we have the inner strength to adapt and grow. As we reflect on this lesson, consider the decisions you're currently facing. How can you approach them with wisdom and clarity? What steps can you take to align your choices with your values and long-term goals? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius taught, wisdom is not just about making the right decisions, it's about cultivating the mindset and habits that allow us to live with purpose, integrity, and peace. By embracing the role of wisdom in decision-making, we can navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace, creating a path that leads to both personal and collective well-being. Now turning to the 44th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the practice of self-care. While Marcus Aurelius is often remembered for his philosophical reflections on duty and virtue, he also understood the importance of taking care of oneself. In his writings, he emphasized that caring for the mind and body is not a luxury but a necessity for living a balanced and fulfilling life. He believed that self-care is an essential part of maintaining the strength and clarity needed to fulfill our responsibilities and live in alignment with Stoic principles. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This insight reminds us that self-care begins with nurturing our mental and emotional well-being. By taking the time to care for ourselves, we build the resilience needed to face life's challenges with calm and composure. Self-care, in the Stoic sense, is not about indulgence or avoidance. It's about creating habits that sustain our energy, focus, and inner peace. One of the key ways Marcus Aurelius practiced self-care was through mindfulness and reflection. He often took moments throughout his day to pause, breathe, and reconnect with his thoughts. This practice allowed him to maintain a sense of clarity and perspective, even in the midst of his demanding responsibilities as a Roman emperor. For us, this might look like setting aside a few minutes each day for meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in quiet reflection. These small acts of mindfulness can help us recharge and approach our daily tasks with renewed focus. Physical self-care was also important to Marcus. He understood that a healthy body supports a healthy mind. In his time, this might have involved regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest. Today, we can apply this lesson by prioritizing activities that promote physical well-being, such as going for a walk, practicing yoga, or ensuring we get enough sleep. Even small changes like drinking more water or taking short breaks during the day can have a significant impact on our overall health. Another aspect of self-care that Marcus valued was setting boundaries. As a leader, he recognized the importance of balancing his duties with time for rest and rejuvenation. He understood that overextending oneself leads to burnout and diminishes our ability to serve others effectively. In our own lives, this might mean learning to say no to unnecessary commitments, delegating tasks when possible, and carving out time for activities that bring us joy and relaxation. By setting healthy boundaries, we protect our energy and create space for what truly matters. Marcus also believed in the power of gratitude as a form of self-care. He often reflected on the things he was thankful for, recognizing that gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. This practice not only uplifts our mood but also fosters a sense of contentment and resilience. A simple way to incorporate this into your routine is by keeping a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Over time, this habit can help cultivate a more positive and appreciative mindset. Finally, Marcus reminds us that self-care is not selfish, it's an act of responsibility. By taking care of ourselves, we ensure that we have the strength and clarity to care for others and fulfill our roles in life. Whether it's through mindfulness, physical activity, setting boundaries, or practicing gratitude, self-care is a way of honoring our own well-being while staying true to our values and commitments. As we reflect on this lesson, consider how you can incorporate self-care into your daily routine. What small changes can you make to nurture your mind and body? How can you create habits that sustain your energy and focus? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius taught, self-care is not just about feeling good, it's about building the foundation for a life of purpose, resilience, and inner peace. By prioritizing self-care, we equip ourselves to face life's challenges with strength and grace, creating a path that leads to both personal and collective well-being. Now turning to the 45th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the importance of honesty. Marcus Aurelius, a man who carried the weight of an empire on his shoulders, understood that honesty was not just a moral virtue but a cornerstone of a meaningful and trustworthy life. He believed that living with integrity and truthfulness was essential for personal growth and for fostering strong, authentic relationships with others. In his writings, Marcus often reflected on the value of being truthful, not only in our words but also in our actions and intentions. He saw honesty as a way to align ourselves with the natural order of the universe, living in harmony with reason and virtue. For Marcus, honesty was not just about avoiding lies, it was about being genuine, transparent, and consistent in all aspects of life. He wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that honesty is a choice we make every day in both big and small moments. One of the key ways honesty builds trust is by creating a foundation of reliability and dependability. When we are honest with others, we show them that they can count on us to speak the truth even when it's difficult. This fosters deeper connections and mutual respect, whether in personal relationships, friendships, or professional settings. For example, imagine a situation where a colleague makes a mistake on a project. Instead of covering it up or shifting blame, choosing to be honest about the error and working together to find a solution not only resolves the issue, but also strengthens the team's trust and collaboration. Honesty also plays a crucial role in building self-respect and inner peace. When we are truthful with ourselves, we avoid the internal conflict that comes with deception or denial. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of self-awareness and self-examination, encouraging us to confront our own flaws and shortcomings with honesty. By doing so, we can grow and improve, aligning our actions with our values and principles. For instance, admitting to ourselves that we need to work on our patience or temper allows us to take proactive steps toward becoming better versions of ourselves. Practicing honesty can be challenging, especially in situations where the truth might be uncomfortable or lead to conflict. However, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that facing these challenges with integrity is far more rewarding in the long run. Consider a scenario where a friend asks for your opinion on a decision they're making, and you know your honest feedback might be difficult for them to hear. While it might be tempting to offer a vague or overly positive response, speaking the truth with kindness and compassion shows that you value the relationship enough to be genuine. This kind of honesty, though sometimes hard, strengthens bonds and fosters mutual respect. Another way to practice honesty is by being transparent about our own limitations and mistakes. Marcus believed that acknowledging our imperfections is a sign of strength, not weakness. When we admit when we're wrong or when we don't know something, we create opportunities for learning and growth. For example, in a work setting, owning up to a missed deadline or an oversight demonstrates accountability and builds trust with colleagues and supervisors. It shows that we are committed to doing better and value integrity over appearances. Marcus also saw honesty as a way to live in alignment with the Stoic virtues of wisdom and justice. By being truthful, we contribute to a more just and harmonious society. Honesty ensures that our actions are guided by reason and fairness, rather than by selfish motives or deceit. In this way, honesty becomes not just a personal virtue but a social responsibility, helping to create a world where trust and integrity prevail. As we reflect on this lesson, consider how honesty plays a role in your own life. Are there areas where you could be more truthful with yourself or others? How can you practice honesty in challenging situations, even when it feels difficult? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius taught, honesty is not just about telling the truth. It's about living a life of integrity, where our words and actions align with our deepest values. By embracing honesty, we build trust, foster meaningful relationships, and create a foundation for a life of purpose and authenticity. Now, turning to the 46th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the role of curiosity in learning. Marcus Aurelius, a lifelong student of philosophy and life itself, believed that curiosity was a driving force behind personal growth and innovation. He saw the pursuit of knowledge not as a task to be completed but as a continuous journey, one that enriches the mind and spirit. In his writings, Marcus often reflected on the importance of asking questions, seeking understanding, and remaining open to new ideas. He viewed curiosity as a way to stay connected to the ever-changing world and to deepen our understanding of ourselves and others. Curiosity, according to Marcus, is the spark that ignites learning. It pushes us to look beyond the surface, to question assumptions, and to explore the unknown. This mindset not only broadens our horizons but also fosters creativity and innovation. For example, consider how curiosity has driven some of the greatest discoveries in history: scientists asking why the apple falls, inventors wondering how to harness electricity, or philosophers pondering the nature of existence. In our own lives, curiosity can lead to new skills, fresh perspectives, and a deeper appreciation for the world around us. One practical way to cultivate curiosity is by embracing a beginner's mindset. This means approaching situations with openness and humility, as if we are seeing them for the first time. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to remain teachable, no matter how much he had already learned. He wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By filling our minds with questions rather than assumptions, we keep our thoughts vibrant and our spirits engaged. For instance, instead of dismissing a new hobby or subject as too difficult or irrelevant, we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" or "How might this change the way I see things?" Another way to nurture curiosity is by seeking out diverse experiences and perspectives. Marcus believed that exposure to different ideas and cultures could expand our understanding and challenge our biases. In today's world, this might mean reading books from authors with different backgrounds, engaging in conversations with people who hold opposing views, or exploring new places and traditions. Each of these experiences can spark new questions and insights, keeping our curiosity alive and active. Curiosity also thrives in environments where mistakes are seen as opportunities to learn rather than failures to avoid. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of embracing challenges and setbacks as part of the learning process. He understood that curiosity requires courage, the willingness to step into the unknown and risk being wrong. For example, if you're learning a new language, making mistakes is inevitable, but each error is a chance to improve and deepen your understanding. By reframing mistakes as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks, we can maintain our curiosity and continue to grow. In addition to fostering personal growth, curiosity can also strengthen our relationships. When we approach others with genuine interest and a desire to understand, we create deeper connections and build trust. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of empathy and compassion, qualities that are nurtured by curiosity. For instance, instead of assuming we know what someone is thinking or feeling, we can ask questions and listen actively. This not only enriches our relationships but also helps us see the world through others' eyes, broadening our own perspective. To practice curiosity in daily life, consider setting aside time for exploration and reflection. This could involve dedicating a few minutes each day to reading about a topic you know little about, trying a new activity, or simply observing the world around you with fresh eyes. Marcus Aurelius often encouraged himself to pay attention to the small details of life, finding wonder in the ordinary. By doing the same, we can reignite our sense of curiosity and rediscover the joy of learning. As we reflect on this lesson, think about how curiosity shapes your own life. Are there areas where you could ask more questions or seek new experiences? How can you cultivate a mindset of lifelong learning, even in the midst of a busy routine? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius taught, curiosity is not just a trait, it's a practice, one that keeps us engaged, inspired, and ever evolving. By embracing curiosity, we open ourselves to a world of possibilities and continue to grow, not just in knowledge but in wisdom and understanding. Now turning to the 47th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the practice of acceptance. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher who faced immense challenges as a Roman emperor, understood the importance of accepting reality as it is. He believed that resistance to what we cannot change only leads to suffering, while acceptance brings peace and clarity. In his writings, Marcus often reflected on the idea that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. This principle lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy and remains profoundly relevant in our modern lives. Acceptance, as Marcus taught, is not about passive resignation or giving up. Instead, it is about recognizing the reality of a situation and choosing to respond with wisdom and equanimity. For example, imagine you're stuck in traffic. Resisting the situation by becoming frustrated or angry won't change the fact that you're delayed. However, accepting the reality of the traffic allows you to focus on what you can control. Perhaps using the time to listen to a podcast, reflect on your day, or simply breathe deeply. This shift in perspective reduces stress and helps you maintain inner peace. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that everything in life is temporary, including both the good and the bad. By accepting the impermanent nature of things, we can avoid clinging to what we cannot hold onto and release our grip on what causes us pain. For instance, if you lose a job or experience a setback, acceptance allows you to acknowledge the situation without letting it define you. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you can focus on what you can learn from the experience and how to move forward. In relationships, acceptance plays a crucial role in fostering understanding and harmony. Marcus believed that we cannot change others, but we can change how we perceive and interact with them. For example, if a loved one has habits or traits that frustrate you, acceptance helps you let go of the desire to change them and instead focus on how you can respond with patience and compassion. This approach not only reduces conflict but also deepens your connection with others. Another way to practice acceptance is by embracing life's uncertainties. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the unpredictability of life, reminding himself that the only constant is change. In today's fast-paced world, this lesson is especially valuable. Whether it's dealing with unexpected challenges at work, navigating changes in relationships, or facing global uncertainties, acceptance helps us adapt with resilience and grace. By letting go of the need for certainty, we can find peace in the present moment and approach the future with confidence. To cultivate acceptance in your own life, start by observing your reactions to situations you cannot control. When you feel resistance or frustration, pause and ask yourself, can I change this? If not, how can I accept it and respond in a way that aligns with my values? Marcus Aurelius often practiced this kind of self-reflection, using it as a tool to strengthen his inner calm and clarity. Over time, this practice can help you develop a mindset of acceptance, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and peace. As we reflect on this lesson, consider how acceptance can transform your own experiences. Are there areas of your life where resistance is causing unnecessary stress? How can you practice acceptance to find peace and clarity in those moments? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius taught, acceptance is not about giving up, it's about embracing reality with wisdom and courage. By doing so, we free ourselves from the weight of resistance and open the door to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Now turning to the 48th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the importance of purpose. Marcus Aurelius, a man who carried the weight of an empire on his shoulders, understood that a clear sense of purpose is the foundation of a meaningful life. He believed that without purpose we drift aimlessly, but with it we find direction, motivation, and fulfillment. In his writings, Marcus often reflected on the idea that living with purpose is not just about achieving external success, but about aligning our actions with our deepest values and principles. Purpose, as Marcus taught, is not something we stumble upon by chance. It is something we cultivate through reflection and intention. For example, imagine you're at a crossroads in your career. Without a clear sense of purpose, you might feel lost or overwhelmed by the options before you. But when you take the time to reflect on what truly matters to you, your passions, your strengths, and the impact you want to have, you can make decisions that align with your purpose. This clarity not only guides your choices, but also fuels your motivation and resilience in the face of challenges. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that purpose is not about grand achievements or external recognition. It is about living in accordance with your values and contributing to something greater than yourself. For instance, if your purpose is to help others, you might find fulfillment in small, everyday acts of kindness, whether it's volunteering, mentoring, or simply being there for a friend in need. These actions, though seemingly small, are deeply meaningful when they align with your sense of purpose. In relationships, purpose plays a vital role in fostering connection and harmony. Marcus believed that when we approach our interactions with a sense of purpose, whether it's to support, inspire, or understand, we create deeper and more meaningful bonds. For example, if your purpose is to be a loving and supportive partner, you might prioritize quality time, active listening, and acts of care in your relationship. This intentional approach not only strengthens your connection, but also brings a sense of fulfillment to both you and your partner. Another way to discover and pursue your purpose is by embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the idea that adversity reveals our true character and helps us clarify what matters most. In today's fast-paced and often uncertain world, this lesson is especially relevant. Whether you're facing a personal setback, a professional challenge, or a global crisis, these moments can serve as catalysts for redefining your purpose. By asking yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? What truly matters to me? You can uncover a deeper sense of direction and meaning. To cultivate purpose in your own life, start by reflecting on your values, passions, and strengths. Ask yourself, what brings me joy? What am I naturally good at? How can I use these gifts to make a positive impact? Marcus Aurelius often practiced this kind of self-reflection, using it as a tool to align his actions with his purpose. Over time, this practice can help you develop a clear sense of direction and live a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. As we reflect on this lesson, consider how purpose can transform your own experiences. Are there areas of your life where you feel adrift or disconnected? How can you cultivate a sense of purpose to bring clarity and motivation to those moments? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius taught, purpose is not about external achievement. It's about living in alignment with your values and contributing to the world in a way that feels meaningful to you. By doing so, you not only find fulfillment but also inspire those around you to live with purpose and intention. Now turning to the 49th lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we delve into the role of gratitude in overcoming challenges. Marcus Aurelius, despite the immense pressures of ruling an empire, consistently practiced gratitude even in the face of adversity. He believed that gratitude was not just a fleeting emotion but a powerful tool for shifting perspective and building resilience. In his writings, Marcus often reminded himself to find something to be grateful for, no matter how difficult the circumstances. This practice, he found, allowed him to maintain inner peace and strength, even when external conditions were far from ideal. Gratitude, as Marcus taught, has the power to transform how we perceive challenges. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. For example, imagine you're going through a tough time at work. Perhaps you're facing a heavy workload or a difficult project. Instead of dwelling on the stress, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for. Maybe it's the opportunity to learn new skills, the support of your colleagues, or even the simple fact that you have a job that provides for your needs. This shift in perspective can help you approach the challenge with a sense of calm and determination, rather than frustration or despair. Marcus Aurelius also believed that gratitude builds resilience by reminding us of our strengths and resources. When we acknowledge the good in our lives, even during tough times, we reinforce our ability to endure and overcome. For instance, if you're dealing with a personal setback, such as a health issue or a relationship struggle, practicing gratitude can help you focus on the support systems you have, whether it's the love of family, the care of friends, or your own inner strength. This awareness can empower you to face the challenge with greater confidence and resilience. One practical way to cultivate gratitude during adversity is through journaling. Marcus Aurelius himself kept a journal which we now know as Meditations, where he reflected on his thoughts, challenges, and the things he was grateful for. You can follow his example by setting aside a few minutes each day to write down 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. This simple practice can help you develop a habit of noticing the positive aspects of your life, even when things feel overwhelming. Another way to practice gratitude is by expressing it to others. Marcus believed that gratitude was not just an internal practice, but also a way to strengthen relationships and foster connection. For example, if someone has supported you during a difficult time, take a moment to thank them sincerely. This act of appreciation not only uplifts the other person, but also reinforces your own sense of gratitude and connection. In moments of adversity, gratitude can also help us find meaning and purpose. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the idea that challenges are opportunities for growth and self-discovery. By practicing gratitude, we can reframe our struggles as lessons that contribute to our personal development. For instance, if you're facing a financial hardship, instead of focusing on the stress, consider what this experience is teaching you. Perhaps it's the value of resourcefulness, the importance of budgeting, or the strength of your determination. This perspective can help you find meaning in the challenge and approach it with a sense of purpose. As we reflect on this lesson, consider how gratitude can transform your own experiences of adversity. Are there challenges in your life where you've struggled to find the silver lining? How can you practice gratitude to shift your perspective and build resilience? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius taught, gratitude is not about denying the difficulties we face, but about finding the strength and perspective to navigate them with grace and resilience. By cultivating gratitude, even in the toughest times, we can find peace, purpose, and the courage to keep moving forward. Now turning to the 50th and final lesson from Marcus Aurelius, we explore the practice of continuous improvement. Marcus Aurelius, throughout his life, emphasized the importance of striving to be better each day. He believed that true growth comes not from grand, sweeping changes, but from small, consistent efforts made over time. In his writings, Marcus often reminded himself that progress is a journey, not a destination, and that every day presents an opportunity to refine our character, strengthen our virtues, and deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Marcus Aurelius saw life as a series of moments, each offering a chance to learn, grow, and improve. He understood that even the smallest actions, when repeated consistently, could lead to profound transformation. For example, if you're working on becoming more patient, you don't need to master patience overnight. Instead, focus on small, manageable steps, like taking a deep breath before responding in a frustrating situation or practicing active listening in conversations. Over time, these small efforts accumulate, helping you develop greater patience and emotional resilience. One of the key ways Marcus Aurelius practiced continuous improvement was through daily reflection. He would end each day by reviewing his actions, thoughts, and decisions, asking himself where he had succeeded and where he could do better. This habit of self-examination allowed him to identify areas for growth and make intentional changes moving forward. You can adopt a similar practice by setting aside a few minutes each evening to reflect on your day. Ask yourself questions like, did I act in alignment with my values today? Or what could I have done differently to handle a situation better? This simple routine can help you stay focused on your goals and make steady progress over time. Another way to incorporate continuous improvement into your daily life is by setting small, achievable goals. Marcus Aurelius believed that progress is built on consistent effort, so instead of aiming for perfection, focus on incremental steps. For instance, if you want to become more disciplined, start by committing to one small habit, like waking up 10 minutes earlier or dedicating 15 minutes to a task you've been avoiding. As you build momentum, you can gradually expand your efforts, creating a foundation for lasting change. Marcus also emphasized the importance of learning from others. He often reflected on the qualities he admired in those around him and sought to emulate their virtues. You can apply this lesson by surrounding yourself with people who inspire you and observing their habits, attitudes, and approaches to challenges. Whether it's a mentor, a colleague, or a friend, there's always something to learn from others that can help you grow. Finally, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that setbacks are a natural part of the journey. He understood that growth is not linear and that mistakes are opportunities to learn and improve. When you encounter obstacles or failures, instead of becoming discouraged, view them as feedback. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience, and how can I use this to become better? This mindset shift can help you stay motivated and resilient, even when progress feels slow. As we conclude this exploration of Marcus Aurelius's teachings, consider how you can embrace the practice of continuous improvement in your own life. What small, consistent efforts can you make today to become a better version of yourself? Remember, as Marcus taught, growth is a lifelong journey, and every step you take brings you closer to the person you aspire to be. By committing to continuous improvement, you can cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner peace, creating a life of purpose and fulfillment. Now, turning to the conclusion of our journey through the 50 Stoic lessons from Marcus Aurelius, let's take a moment to reflect on the timeless wisdom we've explored. From the power of perception to the practice of continuous improvement, Marcus Aurelius's teachings offer a roadmap for living a life of virtue, resilience, and inner peace. These lessons, though written centuries ago, remain deeply relevant today, providing practical tools to navigate the complexities of modern life. Each lesson invites us to look inward, to examine our thoughts, actions, and values, and to strive for growth in every moment. Whether it's learning to accept what we cannot control, embracing adversity as an opportunity for growth, or cultivating gratitude and kindness, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the path to a meaningful life lies in our daily choices. His emphasis on self-discipline, mindfulness, and humility offers a blueprint for personal transformation, encouraging us to live with intention and purpose. As you reflect on these 50 lessons, consider which ones resonate most with you. Perhaps it's the importance of living in the present moment, the value of self-reflection, or the power of perspective. Whatever it may be, take these teachings to heart and find ways to incorporate them into your daily life. Start small, as Marcus advised, and focus on consistent, incremental progress. Over time, these small steps can lead to profound changes, helping you build resilience, deepen your relationships, and find greater fulfillment. Before we close, I'd love to hear from you. Which of Marcus Aurelius's lessons spoke to you the most? How do you plan to apply these teachings in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm excited to hear your insights and experiences. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content on Stoicism and personal growth. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update as we continue this journey together. Thank you for joining me in exploring the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. Remember, the journey of self-improvement is ongoing, and every day is an opportunity to grow. Keep striving, keep reflecting, and keep living with purpose. Until next time, take care and stay stoic.